Right, hello everyone. Hello. Let me move that up there. We are back. Yippee. The weather is no longer killing me, so I can wear, normal stuff now. What do you know? It's great. But yeah, no, we are back, and we are going to do the last of the intervallo, because I've spent far too long not doing this. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin. Good afternoon, Tony, and hello, Zeol. Sorry, just need to quickly get the chats out. Pop out chat. There we are. Right. Hello, Zulot, hello, Evanus, and hello, Jinx. Said I watched the stream because I watched my friend play Deltarune Chapter 5. Well, I hope that's enjoyable for you, at least. Hello, Noah, welcome. Have I done that before? I have. We are on to photos. Wish me luck in getting my laptop fixed. Tripping the screen caught a side awkward. Ooh, good luck with that. I hope that goes well for you. Getting it repaired. That is not your laptop being broken. Coops Bob Laha. Like Minecraft mods. Yes indeed. Green tea with a splash of creamer. Oh, interesting. You're on your phone today? Ah, cool. Well, I hope it doesn't disrupt the stream too much for you. Right. Something sits ill with me. Amid the sprawl of Escort's back streets distorted with a flash, Angdu had a gaze fixed somewhere high overhead. And the end of a gaze... Are those photographs? A long line stretched across the open air, photographs hanging from it like laundry clipped to a clothesline. I mistook it for a cudgel at first and gave it little attention. Yet upon closer look, I saw those pictures hanging from the line. Perhaps that strung within the darkroom and remained thus when the distortion took hold. Bizarre. Observation of unaffected elements in the space occupied by location-type distortion is most irregular. Indeed, the items we bought from the studio have already changed into images of various sites of Escort, yet those alone remain as they were. Let's take him down and check them ourselves. Just I was wondering if the line was perhaps too high for me to reach, Musso stepped forward and plucked a few photos off it. In the instant he brought them to me, we heard another pop, and again a bright white flash blinded my vision for a moment. Good grief. The distortion likes to change its mind, huh? Keeps switching between S-Corp and N-Corp. This feels like getting caught in a flashbang detonation. My whole body tenses up and then goes slack right after. The other sinners were busy grumbling about the distortion at sudden jumps, except for Musso, who stood right in front of me with the photos still held in his hand. Oh, didn't drop them? No. He gave his usual short answer, then returned his attention to the cylinder it had been shaking. He took the film out of the container and flicked the liquid off it with clean, controlled motions. Is the processing finally done? Wait, we're back here with the lights on now. Is it okay to take the film out? Yes. Exposure to light will not damage the film once development is complete and the image is fixed. There is no cause for concern. That's a relief. I couldn't say I followed all the technical details, but no cause for concern was all I needed to hear. Sighing in relief, I held up the photograph so I could take a proper look. Hello, Buhisho. Hello, very frisky towels. Liu Greg scaling song lament. What on earth? Anyway, so, see anything odd in there, Manager Bud? There are people in them. The people in the photographs all look different from one another. If I had to pick one similarity between them, though, they all looked cold and indifferent. Yeah, that's the city, alright. Ordinary folks you'd see anywhere. These aren't like the photos we picked up at the studio earlier. Are these the kind of photographs they used to make canned experiences? What was that? The scenery around us seemed to ripple just now. So to us first, she also felt the strange sensation, but it faded away soon enough. Perhaps it's nothing serious. Maybe it was just a spell of random vertigo. Is it even possible to get dizzy when I put a clock for a head? No. Musso must have noticed that I was out of sorts for a moment, because he seemed to pause on purpose before answering my question. No, I thought you said docugraphers take these photos to put into canned experiences. Raw ingredients for canned experiences are handled exclusively by the Grand Magassin Sifi. There's no known method for external parties to access them. Sifi what? Oh, I think I've heard of it. Canned experiences, right? They're in high demand in other districts too, but the only brand stamped on them is Grand Magassin Sifi. Same name every time. I remember some of my classmates bragging about trying them whenever exam weeks came around. Never had one myself, though. I can't really explain it, but something about them just feels kind of wrong. It's that popular, huh? The unprocess-based content account experiences, known as experience batter, very to the point, is supplied to processing factories, where docugraphers fine-tune the experience's details. Photographs are primarily used for that purpose. They can fine-tune experience? An easier example for understanding would be to consider why docugraphers take pictures of subjects such as buildings. A purchaser may wish to experience living in a luxurious building they could never afford, and they may wish to vent out impulses of violence by experiencing the burning of an expensive property. Demand for haute couture kind experience is increasing day by day. So that's why the photos from earlier were all fancy buildings. Yes, manager. Conversely, information concerning ordinary experience that can easily be encountered in reality is in low demand. Then why photograph these residents at all? Perhaps these are not images harvested for their commodity value, but pure photography in and of itself. Mayhap they have been captured for a desire to seize a vanishing instant through a lens. There are people who take photographs knowing it will cost them an exorbitant sum. I've seen some before. A staggering amount of money just to take a single photo. That is, if they could even manage to find a photographer to take the risk and help take the picture. I'm not so crass to put a price on sentiment and nostalgia, but spending this much money on film rolls, what could have made this investment worth it? Okay, I have to say, this feels a little bit like bullshit to me. You're telling me the city has streamers, so it has the ability for digital footage to be taken and processed on a device, like a phone. We see Camille holding a phone, and they can only take photos with these. Does that sound weird to anyone else, or is that just me? I'd say, maybe this is a matter of sentiments, or memories even. Leafing through the photographs, I quietly expressed my thoughts. I mean, this is the early 1900s. That doesn't change that we have an actual streamer. Like, hold on. We have a genuine, real-world streamer. Maso gets an ID of them. Like, if you look at, even if you look at Camille Distorted, whatchamacallit? Do you have his phone? No, he only has his phone in corroded form, I believe. Look. He has an actual phone. Like a real, just iPhone looking thing. You cannot tell me that photographs need to be done with that. Executive Manager? Authority and distortions, but only manifest through desires or emotions that become warped in bizarre ways. Also, the canned emotion thing, does that really make sense either? Because we see emotion get taken out of somebody in Leviathan. Although that is in Court's backstreet, so maybe that's that. But all fighters let them get the physical film it's put on? Maybe? I don't know. But everything the distortion has shown so far points back to Escort. That is, the Escort from the past only Kim and Eng Do would have seen and remembered. These photos, though, they're completely untouched by the distortion. Doesn't that feel off? There's maybe a strong fixation at play here. Strong enough to slip past even a distortion. And if that obsession is something that refuses to let these memories be influenced, I think our next step should be to look for the people in these photos. These photographs are the only undistorted, unaltered clues we have. Dante says it would be advisable to locate the people shown in these photographs. Ooh, good idea! Team leader does say that we should accept input from the LCB with open arms. Hey Eng Do, you get me the office catalogue? We'll probably need to commission our office affiliated with Severn Association. Looks like one can take the request right away. Can someone tell Ezra we're fine? I think I know where to find these people. Dante says one of the people shown in the photos has already been found. What? When? How? Well, guess I'm just having a lucky day. I pulled the radio from my waist and switched it on without answering Ezra's question. DWRC? I think she said, do we regroup clock? That was especially hard to understand, Ryoshi. Rhodio's with you, right? Can you put her on? Okay. Rhodio, you there? Yeah, what? Dante wants to talk? One sec. I kinda went overboard the bread and pastries. My hands are completely full over here. Pastries? What kind? Just one of everything. Neat, can you grab an extra brioche and baguettes for me too? Love the ones from that street, they're so good. Hold on, I just gotta readjust the pile if I wanna just throw them on the floor, they're packaged. See the follow-up announcement of the Hang Hang Pang Pang LARP quiz? They have 100 plus questions for each game. That's amazing. Maybe it's some kind of specialized grade of film. Okay, that That'd make sense. That'd make sense. Maybe it has more detail, something about the light being fixed on. I'm not sure. That might be something to do with that. Can't you feel like that, Kay? Brett has, I mean, bakers have feelings too, you know. How do you think Baker would feel if they knew someone was treating their precious babies like trash? The scabbard is rattling again for no reason. Anyways, Dante, can you give me a sec if you need me to fight? Just need to cram these into my pockets real quick. No, it's not a fight. Huh, then what's this about? I took a close look at the words written in the wicker basket in the first photograph Messiah had brought me. Where's that bakery you're at? Right. Hands. Ah, I know who you're looking for. The owner of the bakery was a woman holding the same wicker basket as the one in the photograph. She took one glance at the picture I had up for her and gave a quick nod. This man, he works in Cannery 17 right next. He's a regular. He used to drop by every morning to buy sandwiches to share with his co-workers. I haven't seen him around lately though. And those co-workers, I assume they're wearing the same uniform? Asking the question on my behalf, I just showed the baker another photograph. Hello Coops, that's the face I've been looking forward to seeing. Thank you, SFG. Anyway, some Limbus does feel like you see the writer's thinly veiled plot device? Yeah. Asking the question on my behalf, I just showed the baker another photograph. Probably, he was always wearing one too. I guess it's the cannery uniform. This confirms our lead, executive manager. A few inquiries at the cannery should bring us right to the information we need. Yeah, you're right, but she doesn't seem very concerned at all. She's one of the people in the photos that weren't affected by the extortion, right? Thought she'd be a close acquaintance. Allow me to verify, executive manager. Do you know the name of this regular you spoke of? His name? Am I supposed to know that? Though I wasn't expecting to actually know his name, the apathy evident in her voice gave me pause. He took a photo of you. Wouldn't it be reasonable to assume that you're well acquainted with him? Oh, that. The baker's demeanor changed when Otis pressed the point. She gave a strange, unsettling smile before pulling something from her apron pocket. A thin and round, can-like object. He said he'd give me 5 of these canned experiences for free if I let him take my picture. He even said he'd throw in the docu-graph for the building of my choice. He docu-graphs buildings, right? I hear he even takes work trips to the Nest every now and again. So I asked him to get me a docu-graph for this lovely mansion I saw by the Nest suburbs. I know I'll never get to afford a beautiful place like that, but this way I could at least experience what it's like, and gosh, it was everything I'd ever hoped for. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but there was a distinct eeriness to that dreamy, blissful smile on the baker's face that sent a chill down my spine. Young Monsieur, these canned experiences truly possessed of such marvels, to block all semblance of reason from one's countenance? They maintain high demand across the city. District 14 is only one of several makers. Does thou mean that those who indulge in canned experiences may experience venturing on an expedition to the Great Lake and bungee jumping off the summit of that skyscraper yonder as they remain seated where they are? They may, however. Oh, a magic can, allowing one to pursue any dream the heart may conceive. Verily, I confess mine own soul is much tempted. It differs from pursuing a dream. Mass-produced canned experiences are made from base experience matter mixed with various modified information. The resulting end product enables intense simulation through altered memory. Therefore, it is unlike the dream as expressed by Don Quixote. A piece of memory refined along the numerous processing stages of the cannery's production line is not equivalent to a genuine experience, meaning the usage of experience in our previous statement must also be amended. Memory is altered for intense stimulation. That does sound quite shady. How does this cast a shade upon the boons granted by the can? Adventures and tales are, forsooth, inclined towards a little grandeur. It is because the memories provided canned experiences are extremely vivid. Statistics have shown that users of cans interpret them as authentic experiences and become dependent on them. A possible cause of dependence patterns is that canned experiences allow one to feel as though one has achieved a dream that is, in reality, impossible. Art thou implying that the users are made content with devouring forged dreams stored in instant-use cans? Subtle messaging, subtle real-world messaging there. I wonder what Project Moon could be hinting at here. Worse still, the user may no longer strive to chase dreams in the waking world. For the sweeter and more splendidly a dream is embellished, the more impossible it will appear to be grasped with one's own hands. Can you make it a bit louder? Okay, there you are. That good? I mean, I could make the actual... Hold on, let me redo that. Just messing around with sounds. I think I did lower the sound a bit when I was just doing an MD. Yeah, let's To become a cause surrender instead of inciting one to march forth. Verily, doth it not annul the significance of dreaming itself? If the resultant dream rouses not the spirit to gallop towards it? Whether that annuls its significance, I cannot know. But they sell well. That's my guy. Mildly relevant rumor quote? The books you bought me last time were interesting to say the least. I learned that technologies employed in the backstreets were interwoven in a disorderly manner, from crude equipment made of junk to clothes woven from antimatter. All kinds of technologies at various levels of advancement can be seen. There's cutting edge tech out there, but only few get to benefit from it. I assume wealth is a determining factor. Interesting. How goes the experience of the monastic type? It's interesting so far. It's interesting. The can experience like soda cans you could drink, but they talk about dough may realize they could be like beans or tuna cans, have the consistency of actual dough. It's like a cookie tin. You know, like those cookie dough cans that you like press out onto a tray and bake? It's like that. I want. You came here barging all these questions, patient enough to answer them politely, wasn't I? Don't you think you owe me a sale or two? You're not allowed to leave without buying a single loaf, crowding out my bakery and scaring off my customers, are you? That case was on point, actually. With the whole group gathered about, the passerby gave us a wide berth and hurried on, whispering among themselves. Nobody was about to come in and buy bread like that. Come on, lady, I practically cleared your shelf already, didn't I? You did? Where the hell are you keeping all that, then? Do you even gotta ask? Of course I had some already. And the rest is safely tucked in my coat pockets, so we can all share later. So you already ate some. Let's buy a little more. It's true we scared off the other customers. Understood. Given the expenses made to facilitate this operation, the lack of prior budgeting should not pose a problem. Oh, nice. Sesame rice bun for me, please. It was Kim. He really did have a knack for making entrance at the least expected moments. Hey, mister, where have you been this whole time? Wait. Be cross with me all you like, just give me a moment. Ezra paused, waiting in puzzled anticipation, and began to take a sesame rice bun from the baker's hands and jump into it. Alright, I'm ready. Frickin' waste of bread. Gah! Ezra's angry fist drove straight into Kim's solar plexus, falling him to the ground like a crumpled sack of potatoes as he rolled away. At this rate, the owner might start charging us for the whole bakery next, roof and all. Best get away from here. Manager. Musso approached me as we walked down the street, with Ezra and Kim still squabbling behind us. He was holding a roll of something brown and tightly coiled. I have completed development of the film by your instruction. Oh, so this is the film the canister you're shaking. Do I just unroll it? Hold it up against the sun or the source of light. As is a reversal film, the images should be visible as they were photographed. I had no idea what a reversal film meant, but I did as he said and unrolled the film. I'm assuming that means it's not a negative? I'm unsure. Not too sure on films. Okay, I can see it. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, is it showing? Can I see too? Oh. About to sneeze. Move it over a bit. Let me have a look too. It's hard to make out the details because the images are too small, but I can still tell the strip was packed with almost identical pictures. Is the same person in every shot? And the same pose in all of them? Oh, you're right. No, wait a second. See the arm here? The further along the strip you go, the lower it gets. Yeah, and the head looks like it's turning to the right. Huh? We're all squinting up the tiny frames in the film when Sinclair suddenly flinched and went stiff like he'd seen something he shouldn't have. A second later, all colour drained out of his face. Sinclair? What's the matter? This reminds me of something I learned in school. You draw a picture in the corner of a stack of notes or a thick book, in the exact spot on every same page. Okay, this is bullshit. They have streaming services, which means they have cameras. They know how recording works, like real recording. You play a frame after frame after frame after frame. You're telling me not one of these people knows the basic idea that different frames progress into different things. Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Utter bullshit. You do not need to go to a flip book to do that. I don't think Cinder's ever seen a film roll. But you don't need a film roll to understand. We've seen a streamer. We've had Don Quixote reads comic books regularly. You're telling me not one of them ever has understood how a frame works. Anyway, you sew the arms down, you make one small change in each page, nudge the arms up higher and higher until they're raised all the way up. They are a little stupid. I've got to give you that, they are a little stupid. And when you flip the pages fast enough, the drawings stop looking like separate images, the still figure starts moving. That class is called Introduction to Motion Pictures. I'm gonna fucking lose it. Richie saying that video footage we watched were all made the same way. Thank you! Yes! That is how a frame works. I don't know why it's necessary for Sinclair to give the most basic explanation for how animation works. Yeah, why is he surprised? Do nests not have TV? We have TV on the bus. Nice thing this is, it's a continuous series of still images. The arrangement of the frame such that the strip is highly likely to constitute footage, a violation of NCorp's taboo. Okay, so NCorp doesn't allow that. Sure, fine. Okay, so Sinclair, wait. Why the fuck would why would Sinclair have something to do with a class to motion pictures? Wait, no, Sinclair's was in K-Corp, not... It just had NCorp Inquisitors there, which is different. Because I was about to say, why would he have a class on Introduction to Motion Pictures if they're a taboo? But no. Which is directly bad for NCorp? Okay, so that... Sorry, I forgot that they were just invading there. What, like... Rich boy school. I don't... Just... I don't get it. I don't get it. Why do you need to explain what a frame by frame is? Like... Let me support... You know what? I'm killing Heathcliff. You're on the chopping block too, buddy. Get in here. Oh crap. As soon as I reached my so words, my hand reflected through the film onto the ground. Are we gonna be okay? We might have just broken the taboo. It's NCorp's taboo. We can kill NCorp people. Might began to race, rapidly traveling back to our journey. We killed T-Corp taboo hunters. I don't think we need to fear taboo hunters. It's time when Don Quixote smashed that window at K-Corp and caused the window wipe out our team multiple times over. Like, we are currently running an ID that can wipe out multiple Star of the City level threats. We're fine. At least we're vigilant with them, and it ended up being that big of a deal at the end of the day since I revived the sinners, but some nest taboos can get us in serious trouble just for carrying anything that has to do with them, can't they? I don't think we've ever fought taboo hunters. Oh no, we fought tax collectors. I understand. Yeah, true. It's like Ishmael explaining buoyancy before Canto 5, yeah. Although that's more reasonable because there's not that much water. But like, House of Spiders Ryoshuu can solo Rian. House of Spiders Ryoshuu can solo most of them. I don't think it matters if we get in trouble with them. I hardly turned towards the sinners, many of whom looked at everybody's troubles I felt. Still a few of them experienced, especially casual lack of concern, citing all the crazy things we've gone through so far. Thank you! Miss Faust, what happened to Civic's manager killed? Okay, so this is it, huh? Stop freaking out, guys. They're not dying and we'll be fine. NCorp's not going to kill you on the spot just for possessing a film roll. Okay, it would probably be bad for Limbus Company, yes. True. It probably would be. Really? Well, it might be a problem if the film does contain genuine recorded footage, but it's well, you guys had a hand in filming it, right? When NCorp dudes get it to pick it up, just comply with their commands, thank them for their service, and nicely hand it over to the authorities, and everything should be A-okay. There's a possibility that everything will not be A-okay. Eh? Because I've developed the content of the film, they're on that darkroom. Oh. The court will take the lack of intention out. So this is how his canto begins. Intentionality into consideration, however, is likely my actions are deemed as aiding the primary violator of the taboo. Really? But Team Leader said that NCorp has their own regulatory standards regarding image quality, which they use to determine the severity of the taboo violation. If the footage image quality or frame rate is within regulations, NCorp won't be seeking their fixes on our butts right away, and that could buy us time or give a company some leverage to make a deal, however small it might be. Because what they're really sniffing around for is how close to reality the video is, how close of an experience it provides to real life. See if we're really, really unlucky and they actually come after us. It's gonna be fine as long as the footage is low fidelity, probably. So exactly does frame rate... So... Oh, hello, Avi. Just to say, she knows what a fucking frame rate is, and Sinclair needed to explain what a frame was. Sinclair explained animation like it was the most complicated rocket science in the world, and Ezra's out here saying frame rate. That means the interval between each frame shouldn't be like super brief. Think about like, he didn't even say the word frame. So to say frame rate means nothing to them if they don't know what a frame is. So said frame rate within regulation? I don't think he did. No. I don't believe so. Nope, nothing about frame rate within regulation. Sinclair knows Rodin is present, he just needs to break it down like he's talking to a 5-year-old? Yeah. It feels real or vivid, right? You can certainly call them motion pictures, no vividness required to violate their taboo. Then let us analyze this film roll and see how vivid it really is. So, I trust you're knowledgeable in subjects concerning in court. Yes? Cooperate. Could this film roll be considered a violation of the taboo? I just picked up the film from the ground and showed it Miss So. That cannot be determined, unless each frame is thoroughly analysed and compared with adjacent. Without waiting for Miss So to finish, I just unrolled the film roll and raised it against the sky. The rest of you get over here, we must analyse these frames. The film canvas was labelled experiment, so I assume the culprit had created as a test run of sorts. An experiment to see how close they get to violating a taboo, and testing the limits of the law. It may even be a mere collection of similar photographs that are pretending to be recorded footage. The sinners all gather around Otis and look towards the unrolled film in unison. Yeah, the flower pot moves between frames, doesn't it? Dr. Effer couldn't have possibly moved the pot whilst also holding down the shutter button. I don't see any difference. See here, the expression written on the subject visit appears rather stiff. Maybe they're just a gloomy sort. Perhaps you'd observe closer. The stiffness arises not from gloom, from the strain to maintain it. Ooh, if that's the case, maybe the subject is really trying to fake an actual footage by moving very, very slowly. That's a pretty convincing theory, but I'm not sure if that's enough to conclude that we're in the clear just yet. That's when Bamboo-headed Kim, who had been strolling on the ground ever since Ezra punched him, stepped into the conversation. Let's see. Look at the shadow cast on the windowsill. See how it noticeably shifts between each frame? Whoever made this knows the craft for sure, but I can't imagine a backstreet stroller would have any way to mess with the sun's trajectory. The unlikely scenario must be the creator of the film roll deliberately made its subject move very slowly from frame to frame, creating series disconnected photos that, when played sequentially, would look like footage that violates the taboo. In which case, this film roll does not violate the Nest taboo, correct? That is highly probable. So he says, Executive Manager. We should be in the clear for now, at least in regards to aiding the violation of Wing's taboo. But if he was willing to go through this much trouble just to test Encourt's patience, it's hard to believe he would have stopped there. Based on all available evidence, Executive Manager, it seems reasonable to conclude that the inflection point in this case is a taboo violator on the run. Routine posture check, thank you. Okay. Oh, I appear to have run out of footage space. One moment, let me just delete some footage. I don't need footage of the intervallo, to be honest. I'm not going to be making a video out of this. That can just get deleted. There we are. Just to show you, I have a lot, and I do mean a lot, of Ruiner footage at the moment. That's the biggest problem at the moment. Running out of space midstream is crazy. Yes, I do really need to make this Ruiner video quickly, because this is in total, like, hold on. How much? This is 390 gigabytes. So, yeah. Can I check how much time it is? If I go for shimmer options, properties, can I see? No, I can't see how long it would all be if you put it end to end. But, yeah, it's a decent amount of footage. It is a decent amount of footage. 30 FPS for ankle. But what motive could they have to do that? Sure, working for a Wing subsidiary is nothing on being an actual Wing employee, but it's still pretty up there when it comes to careers available in the backstreets. Work for a subsidiary long enough, and you might even get transferred to a factory job in a nest. That gives you a pretty okay chance at a better life, so maybe he's just tired of living that kind of life. Everyone has one of those days, don't they? A sudden feeling like you could be doing more than live the rest of your life in 9-to-5 hell. The drive to do something that takes you away from the pressure of trying to make a life. Something about what Ishmael said must have tickled Bamboo-headed Kim, because he suddenly whipped around towards her and shook his head. Maybe, but how many of those people do you think are capable of throwing away everything they built on a whim? For what I've seen, maybe our culprit just likes to play with fire. Play with fire? Yeah. Must have started by doing something that technically doesn't count as taboo, and inched on and on until he brushed thrillingly close to one. One thrilling shot through this camera, and then another with the next, until eventually you ended up recording actual footage. Cool. Well, it's the question of what the heck was he trying to do with it? Might have been trying to screen it using a projector for all of this part of the backstreets to see. What? But wouldn't that make everyone here, even those who unwittingly came across the projection? Right on. It had made those folks violators the taboo. Why would anyone? So would you care to explain how you know that, Mr. Breadbrain? I asked around the opposite street, and apparently some guys have been going around asking the workshop if they could make a projector. Seemed like most of them got turned down, but they also said he stopped showing up after a certain point. Fair to guess that he got his hands on a projector somehow. Alas, is it not a taboo of the N Corp to view recorded videos? Pray tell, why would anyone insane mind? Well, it ain't taboo if you made only a projector, ain't it? Thank you, Ace Dust. Wow, that really does mean a lot. I'm stunned. Sorry, I wish I had more to say, but like, yeah, thank you so much. Really, truly does mean a lot. Anyway, back to inconsistency that can the intervallo. Yes, members, lunacy. Please spam lunacy. Thank you again, Ace Dust. It apparently looks like a coin. Huh, so to track this guy down. Multiple individuals in the same garb as the pin frame team have just been identified in the vicinity. They're all carrying the same briefcase. Oh ho, well isn't this convenient? Maybe we can play this like a festival or convention and just tell people who look they're involved in what we're looking for. It's all lead us to wherever we need to go. Indeed. At architecture conventions, there would be those in formal plaid shirts and suspenders milling about, and I could always trust them to lead me to the convention venue. Uh-huh. And was it common for those plaid shirt fellas to look around like they're scanning the area? Did they also go around checking people against photographs? Collect the evidence, please advise for. They also radioed each other, glaring at people like they're glaring at. Huh. Perhaps you could answer that series of questions yourself. Nope. This crowd sure didn't look enough to let us follow them. Rightio. It's time to hit them with the good old classic evade 20 times. Yippee. I can't wait to get all my friends and family killed. There we are. Goodbye, Ego. He's definitely the most useful nurse father to kill. Baghead penis fuck. Welcome to the chat, Baghead. But yeah, no, Callisto is definitely the most valuable to kill first. Because they do like, God. I can't quite remember. I think it's like... It's +1 to minimax speed. I'll find out. I'll find out the specific values. Give me a moment. Oh, sub-goal? Yeah, those get automatically set, I believe. Quite interesting. The hype train is also automatic whenever anybody does any money donation things. Nearly didn't evade that properly. But yeah, you get somatic frissing melody, or somatic frisson melody. Somatic frisson inspiring melody. Minimax speed +1, base attack skills gain clash power +1, deal 10% damage. As well as giving you entanglement and, you know, the like. He is by far the most useful to kill. Which is the reason why I always kill him first. Because you can determine who goes first by putting them last in deployment. Last in deployment. That is what determines who goes first. Ezra and Angdu might finish the battle before Rose should finish seeding her family. Well, we'll just have to kill them quickly enough. I fall asleep to a run of it. Ah, nice. I hope you enjoy them. Yeah, I am going to start uploading more now. Hopefully, because I'm on break a bit. But, yeah. Mass taking out the nurse father is interesting since you're reducing a max HP. The thing is, you don't really need their HP if you just kill them quicker. And the thing about killing the nurse fathers is it allows you to kill them quicker, even quicker, because you get the most benefit. So that's why I kill all the nurse fathers first. And then I kill the, you know, younger ones. What are they called? Apprentices, that's what they're called. Wow, that was basically no damage. It's almost like he's level 1 or something. Right. How are you winning that clash? Oh no, you're not a level 1 ID, I forgot. Because you actually were leveled by the person I supported you from. starts in Valor with House Fighters before swapping to Blade Lineage because Blade Lineage is really common new ego and SGID. Sadly, I do not have Blade Lineage Mentor Maso. So I just like, yeah, I kind of have to. Well, not have to use this. I could probably use anything. It's an intervallo. It's really not going to be that powerful. But yeah. There's Lucio removed from existence. Railway is a balancing act with House of Spiders. I honestly just ran... whatchamacallit. I just ran her with the middle team and didn't kill anyone unless they died naturally. The Omaso is a sport? No. I'm fine with this. Because I'd also then have to level up a BL team, and it's really just not worth the effort. For example, when I have this, you know, that does the trick perfectly fine. I don't know where the enemies went, but they're no longer there. You know, Run Space Echo Shear is just going to end the battle. That is just the end, because, yeah, it deals so stupidly much damage. Watch this. Reasonable amount of coins. Yeah, I deserve that many coins. Anyway, now I can kill the others. Aww. They're gonna get away. No. Hold on, no, I can still kill them. I can still kill them. Because I do this, and then that kills them. So no matter what, I still get the kill. Look at this. How much does this... Oh, are they gonna die before I even get to use my skill? Oh, I don't gonna get to clash now. So long. And that's everyone dead. Wonderful. You can only use the evade once. You use the evade once and it kills 2 teammates, I believe. Do you know how many levels Kanto 6 has? I have no idea, honestly, I'm afraid. Yeah, I've never checked. At least she got Sora before she won. Yeah, that was the real aim there. I just didn't want to let Sora get away. That's the only thing I cared about. Do I not get Muga unless everyone is dead? Because I know there's a way to do it. It's like, hold on. Because I think you get Dihue after killing everyone on field with you, and you get Muga after killing everyone. Which, sadly, I would not. So I would need to kill these 2. Which, in theory, I could do. Like, there is a way to do it. It's a simple matter of how much resources? 2 Wrath, 6 Pride. That's all I would need to do and I could kill them. But that's a lot of effort for something that would purely be cosmetic. But yeah. Oh, time to do it again, chat. Yippee! I love doing the same thing over and over again. Are these actually difficult enemies if you don't do this, by the way? I am curious. Because these are going to pose 0 concern for us. Like, less than no problem. Bubble hits Roshi, does the damage get transferred? I would assume so, yeah. You need 50 stacks of House Sword stacks. Skill 3-2? No, I said Muga. I said Muga is cosmetic. Because it is. It's just a funny song you get. You don't need that. Like, it's fun, don't get me wrong, I like having Muga playing, but I can just play Muga myself. No, Muga is the second music. It's... yeah. They're not horrible, they're just kind of trash fodder that puts up a bit of a fight. I see, I see. So win rate fodder. Not really a big issue on their own. That speaks to them being a bigger issue in a later fight. Do I kill them? Ah! I really wanted them to be dead, because if they die early, then I get their buff. Honestly, I find this archetype really funny, because it is the attempting to get your allies killed build. Because, like, the sooner I get my allies killed, the better things are for me. I can attack that. No, stop taking out the enemies. The new Gebra floor build? Yeah, precisely. Yeah, the main aim is to get everyone killed. It's great fun. How are you using it? Using a facade disables the music change? Oh, that's interesting. That is quite interesting. Mountain of Smiling Sinners, yeah. Oh no, they took a photo of someone that I'm about to murder. Somehow I doubt that will do anything. I do get to use time to unseal, right? Yeah, time to unpack. Next capstone idea is going to power creep it. If it... I have no idea how she would get power crept at this point. I'm terrified for it. Because power creeping her would be a concerted effort at this point. That picture will in fact last longer, yeah. Okay. Wait. Fuck, I forgot to... I'm gonna have to get him killed the old-fashioned way. And he won't actually give me any sort of buffs for dying. That's lame. How could you do this to me? Where are you going first? I go there. I'm both excited and terrified of the next capstone idea. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with them, but it's going to be, like, horrific if it has to be stronger. Yeah, Encore Heath. This is the first time Encore Heathcliff has been on the field for a very long time. The effect stayed last time? The next turn? Oh, that's funny. And you're gone too. I won't blame you for this blunder. There was no blunder. I did that on purpose. So becomes the sun and blinds everyone. So true. It's just like pure white. The only button you can click is win rate. Okay. Wonderful. I don't think I even slotted that one. Anyway, this should do the trick. At this point, there is no longer anything I need to do. I have things covered. Should I have evaded? Maybe. But, like, I don't think there are going to be enemies to evade on at this point. Oh, ha! Callisto died and the thing was still there. That's funny. They just give Maso a gun, but they've already done that, so they'll make us skill 1 chains of... Jesus. 3 chains of others every turn, because yes, this is something we need. Okay, well, yeah, no, here's the point where I just killed him. I understand. You might not understand why I've done that, but I have to make it clear to you, I despise Sora with my heart and soul. This is, you got to understand, this is for the greater good. We'll all be happier with this done. They won't even need to make special custom chains. Others, the boss will make you use it every time. Yeah, it'll be automatic. You won't even have to spend resources on it. Oh, as in, wait, I just realized the boss will be so difficult you'll have to use it. Yeah. Oh. Do you get to survive? No, you don't. Bye-bye. Hey, and he died. Look at that. We got a full kill. Yippee. The powers of mass murder. Sora's understandable depending on Lucio. I like Lucio the character. Lucio the ID needs to get erased from existence. Lucio the ID is he just isn't Lucio. Hardly a challenge, what a waste of time. Well, at least they're not much of a fighter one-on-one. The Palatomedan style has an advantage in one-on-one duel. Service Declare is not a combat specialist department. While they have undergone basic combat training for contingent circumstances, they're not prepared for head-on conflicts such as this. Yeah, I noticed they kept taking pictures off their briefcases. I'm guessing that's their primary job description. What are they snapping away for then? Whispering around our backs like a load of creeps. Collecting photos to include in their reports for higher-ups, I'd wager. I can kind of see how they think we're involved in this somehow. Every time they followed a lead, they end up encountering us. It's hardly a surprising rationale. So I stood a footstep away from the rest of the sinners and watched in silence as they tried to come up with an explanation. What is he thinking? What does he wish us to say? Or is he simply contemplating, observing without any preconceived notions in his mind? His silence shouldn't have been any different from his usual reticence, but as though by some chance or whim. I must say, I was struck by the sense of brief yet distinct strange... Name drop? L'Étranger? I was compelled to speak with him. Yes, manager. Don't hesitate to let me know if there's something you want to say, but not sure if you're supposed to say it. Yes, manager. I'll do as you ordered should one such circumstance appear. As always, his reply was deflatingly concise and direct, as though he had some sort of rule of his own that told him this was the specific response to situations like this. Yes, he's autistic. Yes, Dante. I'm okay, but I'm talking about right now, actually. Do you have anything to say right now? No, I do not. It did not appear to me that he was trying to hide anything or choosing his words in response to my question. His reply was simply that, an answer, nothing more. Yes, a prepared answer written down in a list of responses. That's what it felt like to me. As though this particular answer had always been the only one in available situations like this. Clearly, prodding him for answers wouldn't get me anywhere, so... With a curt, sure, if you say so, I turned away from him and took off to join the other sinners. As he did so, a few words limbered at the tip of my proverbial tongue, asking to be let out. So I did. Would have been nice to know what you're looking at. Of that, he spoke. I cannot form a judgment. What? That is because the precise definition and nature of the subject of my gaze is just as unknown to me as to you. Should you point to an object or enemy, I can provide a verbal explanation based on my current knowledge. If you require such information, please rephrase your question accordingly. Had I asked him again then, had I tried to get to the bottom of that line of questioning, could I have found myself the small speaking to Masso's psyche, which remained entirely shrouded in mystery even after an entire year of travelling together? So that's not up for me to judge as well. Manager. Yeah? Another battle is imminent. As you have previously instructed, I informed you of an imminent battle. Yo, boss clock, are you just gonna sit there all day while I do all the fighting? They're pouring out the building over there. So they must have been on their way to that building. Our path ahead seemed clear, Executive Manager. Let's neutralize those foes and head up there. Ah, gotcha. Be right there. The brief lull of battle came to a close, and battling enemies who arrived precisely at the time so I predicted. We made our way into the building. Bloody hell, them blokes who fought downstairs must have been the weaker ones of the bunch. How does Incorp have so many guys on their payroll? There's no end to them. Ah, it is the wing after all. Are these taboo violators? I thought the culprit walked alone. No, I'm quite certain they're the ones from the subsequent reports. The Incorp fixers appeared just as confused as we were. It was clear to me they were expecting to find the taboo violator here, not a big group of dozen or so people. Why are they thinking sending a follower like us to deal with an organised taboo violation? They should have sent the taboo hunters here instead. Why do you think they told us to consume can experience containing mass melee combat? They must have thought our current manpower suffice to deal with this. I don't know about that. Wait, wasn't there an extra report? One of them's a... All of a sudden. With a click, the room began to buzz with a metallic whir of some kind of machinery. And immediately I could tell what it was. Distortion. Standing in the middle of the shaded room was a device I wasn't sure if I'd seen before. Its exterior was plastered with strange shapes that looked similar to what we saw on the Chakun's faces in earlier battles, making it difficult to grasp its full shape. The round object affixed to it began to rotate slowly, with a dull, worn-out groan of a thing past its prime. Men! Shield your eyes! The moment began to emit a faint ray of light. Otis thundered in a commanding voice. Gah! I quickly turned away as well, making sure not to catch even a glimpse of it. The device could be playing a recorded video, Executive Manager. Even a brief look at it could constitute a taboo violation. Shit! I saw that, I'm so finished. Just a panic began creeping into the voices of several unlucky individuals. Oh man, oh folks. Oh man, oh man. Folks, it's starting to get a little embarrassing. A sleepy voice breaks through the darkness, past my, metaphorically speaking, shut eyes. Mental? Eyes open, Angdu. What's wrong with everyone? Got dust in your eyes? The hell's wrong with you? Don't you agree that anyone who watches even a split second of a recorded video on NCorp gets... Of course I know, but I watched anyway. Open your eyes, esteemed fellas. This motion picture isn't recorded. Hang on, he's right. That video's not recording. Possibly emboldened by Kim's comment, or perhaps believing that seeing the video could be excused into incidental exposure incurred while subduing violators, the NCorp employees also opened their eyes and began to mutter amongst themselves. Is that thing talking to us? I finally allowed myself a good look at the machine. It was firing a conical beam of light against the side of a wall, and this was its message, delivered via white words on a black background. So you've tracked me down this far. After what I went through to take refuge in here, they still end up finding this place. All of you blindly consuming fake experience after fake experience without even a care about the real thing. Case number TC3224. You are under suspicion of a Category 3 violation. Reveal yourself now and forfeit your illegal recordings. Should you comply, we will... What is foolery but witness buffoonery in the absence of fools? The hollowed vessel, bereft of all but lingering delusions, grants not even a brawl of the echo to the dogged exorciation of tools. Fucking hell, bamboo-hatted Kim. You really didn't want to make that one easy for me to read. To the listener counterfeit, there's nothing wrong with Maso and that's the way he is? Yep. Yeah, quite possibly. What's this fella on about? If you mean to obstruct your official duties, won't hesitate to use force. Clang. Not even so much as turning around, bamboo-hatted Kim raised a sword and parried away the NCorp's employee nail-shaped weapon. I'm only speaking as my whim guides me, my dear fellows, known to get so huffy. I only am to say this abomination has no consciousness. He's about to lapse into fucking Kaleo fraptuous day. All mimsy were the Borogroves and all the Rome's hath outgrabe. Just had to remember what little of the Jabberwocky I know. How much have I... Hold on, I need to check. The Jabberwocky. Ah, no, I said it the wrong way around. Because it's, 'Twas brillig and the sleely does did gyre and gimble in the wave, all mimsy were the Borogroves and all the mome rats outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch, beware the Jubjub bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in his hand, long time the Maxim's foe he sought, and snicker-snack went... and then I can't remember the rest. But, yeah, anyway. After what I went through to take refuge in here, they still ended up finding this place. All you repeating the same sentences over and over. Does that make me wonder, was I just as far gone when I distorted? Past all words and reason? I mean, if anyone has an answer to that question, it'd be you folks, right? Kim said nothing more. He turned a pissing look on us all. Us, all the while effortlessly swatting away the NCorp employees' attacks. Sick bars, Mr. Streamer! As they were goading it into telling him the truth. Well, don't suppose there's any point in asking. I am no different from this abomination. Just as it wields that contraption, I must have wielded the only thing I have really known, the blade, transforming into a mindless fiend consumed by a mere tool, cleaving through both friend and foe, unrestrained. Hey Junior, still on about that? I tried to avert my eyes, I truly did, but such disregard is easier said than done. How can I, when that distorted being has no qualms showing me the... Doesn't he know how rude the unsolicited reflecting of the fathoms of one heart is? That's gotta be illegal or something. Illegal, I say. Turning a customer into a thug on a protection racket run, a mere amp before the car in emotion into a swerving driver. Conjuring dead followers before the eyes of their mentor, simply unconscionable. Rude as hell, as some might say. My poor heart almost burst on my chest, courtesy of you. In that split second, I think I saw Maso's eyebrows twitch. A battle is imminent, manager. Just a natural response to sensing an imminent battle, perhaps? Pop. Blinding flash, followed by an explosive bang. My vision immediately went wide and decided to take its damn time coming back. And when it did, the first thing that came into view was a particularly unsettling landscape of escort, followed by bamboo-hooded Kim surrounded by a small army of Chukun. Mentor! Keep that when you shot me death, Angdu. It's about time we both grew accustomed to such sights. Mentor, still do I wake from these dreams drenched in cold sweat, that they might bind and drag you away. Isn't so bad, is it? It's just these folks so far, unlike earlier when... Another flash. What was that? Everything went dark. I understand what's happening, but first thing first, we have to neutralize everyone here and get our mission back on track. Adjusting projection. I've been straying far and wandering all day for this exact reason, and... So that was its mechanism. Faust? The words began to shift rapidly before I had the chance to ask Faust what she meant. To the one who finds comfort settling in lies, I give you what most deserved your gaze. Bollocks, I'll be blind before the day's over at this rate. It changed. It did? Unlike the other instance, one of the distortions are different from the others. As Messiah identified, there was something different about the group of Chukuns this time. They were accompanied by someone else. A warrior in impressive armor, wielding a sword that was just as tall. That armor, in a great Hondo of the South Circle. To be reunited in such a manner. The warrior drew a bow that hung from the waistguard and nocked an arrow. I suppose this is how it would have gone down, had you been the one to grab me. Military Commissioner Ing Jong-yop, how do you fare, friend? At the signal, arrows loosing. Seize the accused! The warrior loosened the knock arrow, which soared into the sky with a piercing whistle. And with that air-splitting sound as their cue, the Chukun began to swarm us. My theory is that Distortion was trying to redistort Kim because Carmen told him to. It could be similar to Oswald, yeah. Could be quite similar to Oswald. Anyway, time to do the exact same thing over again. Yippee! Chat, don't you love doing the same thing over and over again? The difference is this time, I can actually get myself killed with even more effectiveness. Because I can take strong attacks. I think the first string up is a hard one. Oh, yeah, Gyong-op? Im Gyong-op? I see. This part has a mechanic? No, it doesn't. I'm running House of Spiders Rosha. Nice gimmick. Unfortunately, I probably won't need to read it. Press last motherfucker managed on distort. Fuck no, I'm sending another distortion. Come. Cool song. The reflectorial version is actually hell with how annoyingly tanky she is. I've seen a House of Spiders Rosha solo that I believe did it in 4 turns. Or something. As always, Capstone ID proving perfectly balanced. Wow, I was hoping that would do more damage. Wow, that deals no damage. Huh. Sorry, what? I thought you were actually supposed to hit me. No? Marriage transitions like retreat and translate into a different... Huh. Interesting. Head-splitting memory. Huh. Okay. Reading is cheating? Okay, I'll stop reading then. I was just looking at how I could make them do more damage because I wanted to die quicker. But they're not letting me die. Like, please, Project Moon, I just want to kill my friends and family. Let me. I mean, there's no way Ezra ever loses. She has over 1,000 HP. And as soon as I get House of Spiders Ryoshu online properly, she will clash at like 20 on her skill 1. Which is mental. Is there a more effective way to kill my friends and family? This'll do it. You could have rolled a bit high. If you'd hit more heads there, mate, he might have actually been dead. Okay, thank you. Finally, some actual damage. And he's gonna die anyway. Okay, never mind. Waste of a kill. People nowadays. They can't just kill themselves good enough. That's not something I should be saying live on stream. That's gonna get me cancelled in some way. To this day, I find it funny level 90s can clash against Lei Hang due to the Stasis. Yeah, that is funny, honestly. Right, bye-bye. Come on! Ah. Just kill her! Coops, you're finally at it. This is beautiful. Yes, I have reached the boss at last. Right. And I do have, of course, the wonderful image on the stream thumbnail. You're somehow following the mechanic? How am I following the mechanic, huh? What am I haven't read it. What am I doing? I just wanted to get myself killed, that's all. Is there a reason this is a surprise stream? This is a surprise stream because I forgot to announce it earlier. That's why. You know, it's amazing how much easier bosses are when you don't care about losing identities. Gonna be no direct damage? Yes, no direct damage will be after the stream. Yeah. I don't think I've ever actually used Valencina. I don't know what her gimmick does. She's not leveled highly enough for me to actually use her either. Right. Yes! Oh. I've applied wrath skills to modulate the boss's stacks. Oh, I see. Interesting. Okay. Oh, yeah. Nice ego. Does it give you an unstagger? Oh. I see we're changing locations. Oh, now it's just the projector. If you for all sinners, cannot be killed, doesn't take any damage for source, and the skill damage for skills attacking this unit on the main target. You just entering the counter gain 3 memory transition. I see. So you can kill it to move on the encounter. Okay then, let's kill it. That should, in theory, actually get everyone killed. Right. Oh no, did I kill everyone else on field? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh no, there we are. Okay, he dies. She dies. And now they die. And finally, at last, I'm able to actually hit my full power. There we are. Time to jump him. No, I'm gonna save that skill. I'm gonna save that skill. There's nothing besides be filler. I mean, it gave me an opportunity to kill the rest of my allies, so you know. Ezra and Angdu watching in horror, yeah, Ryoshu just suddenly turns into a mass murderer. How would you feel about fighting with this? Just like somebody who actively kills their own allies. Hey, where's that tremor, by the way? I was promised tremor on base skills. What is with this blue filter? I don't know. I mean, this is supposed to look blue. 31. 25. Yeah, this feels about 33. I should be able to clash this high. You're right. Thank you. I have my tremor, right? Oh, that's quite a few attacks. Yes. Lovely, thank you. Where is it? There's Dawn, Rodian, Sinclair, Faust. Huh? Did I not kill him? Thumb Apprentice in the middle. Why is the Thumb Apprentice in the middle? Why is he there? Oh, it's on Clash Win. Okay. Why is he in the middle? Makes no sense. Moderate amount of coins. Must be awkward seeing the sinners become the people they fought just a week ago. Yeah. I cannot imagine that would be fun to see. Somehow I think I'm winning this one. Hell yeah, escalating duel. I forgot to use an evasive. Oh no, I'll take some shield damage. Really doesn't matter. I think actually nope. 6 shield. Moderate amount of damage. I don't really sure being back in the meta because how much I dislike her as a character. Oh, interesting. Maybe not Clash BL Otis now on skill 1. How high does BL Otis clash? What? Huh? Does this... Oh, this is the one that becomes a... 6+ poise? Yeah, you have 6+ poise. Alright, there we are. Is this a clashable counter? No, that's just an actual counter. 14 at best? Huh? I somehow think House of Spiders ratio is clashing slightly higher. The longest part of this fight has been killing all my friends and family. That was what took the most amount of time. Rose 20+ on skill 1, I mean, I'm hitting 26 on my skill 2, which is, you know, more than any enemy will ever be able to deal, I think. Set my form right. Okay, cool. Shared an image? What are they on about? Huh? I'm assuming they mean with the ego, because, yeah, that is a 10 rolling attack. A little more, I think we were able to smash the dangling smithereens, but yeah, it's really hard to put. You're fucking dead. Really to focus on one thing, that huge warrior zapping an area as soon as we make ourselves an opening. It'd make our lives a lot easier if we could just get rid of one of them. The battle seemed to be taking us all the centers more so than usual. Probably because I murdered you all. It wasn't against an unsurmountable foe, not even close. Not to mention how Ezra and Angdua hit us out, but haven't I had enough? About time they gave up in it. Why didn't you go legging it again? Big sword carrying fella sure is kicking our butts, but I don't know if the key to solving the distortion. Easily flush with options, are we? Our access block me ain't like a stop mid-fight strategize. With the battlefield constantly shifting, Flash between N-Corp and S-Corp. Once, we simply don't have the breathing room to be the focus on the projector. Im Gyong-op, who was swinging that great blade with frightening force. Besides, Angdu, go cover us back too. It shall be done. Encore was sending far too many people against us. That was only first, but it seemed that a sudden spike in employee casualties in an area so close to the nest alerted Encore to our location. How do we get out of this? Faust, Otis, help me out here. We have the Arashiki on our side. I don't think it will be a different... like a problem. I stopped racking my brain when trying navigation in a situation I knew so little about, and instead rely on the sinners with possibly more experience in the field. First, I need to know if there's any way we can get the endless reinforcements Encore is sending after us. And second, would defeating him going up or destroying the objective bring an end to this distortion phenomenon? I may speak freely, Executive Manager. It is unlikely our present force will be sufficient to overcome the current rate of enemy reinforcements. No, this battlefield situated in close proximity to the enemy stronghold, but is an unpredictable variable in the strange machine that makes neutralizing even a single wave of enemies difficult. No, it doesn't. I regret to be the bearer of bad news, but we're trapped in a battlefield with a single exit. The enemy's already blocked, without reinforcements of our own. There is little hope of railing through this current... I have House of Spiders Roshu. It really isn't a difficulty. Seems like to me too. Maybe we can neutralize the distortion phenomenon at the very least. Faust recommends entering the dungeon in the Fathoms or exit. Dungeon in the Fathoms, but how can I enter if I can't even just talk to the distortion? Wait, maybe. During the LCB regular checkup back at the LCE, he says all you have to do is read what's in the note in front of his distortion. Apparently it's some kind of a code. Right, keywords. This one seems to be a location type distortion, which regardless of where the bright flash take us, Encore, the trusted character of S-Corp, we're still within its range. In other words, as long as I have the right keywords, I can summon an entrance to its dungeon of Fathoms for anyone within it. I was laughing there because of ID keywords. But, okay, so what are the keywords for this distortion then? I don't know how it provides us with the necessary keywords for its distortion back then, but this time we had to figure out on our own. First things first, one that has to be photographed. It's obviously been present throughout the entire phenomenon. If I may, perhaps... It's going to be Mnestic Experience, isn't it? As an undercurrent of such with experience and studies of a trial, must hold in relation to what's caused distortion. Experience, the concept alone lacks substance. It must be something more grounded than is once synonymous with experience, whilst maintaining a through line to Nenkult's technology at its core of its session. Canned experience? Most likely, thinks Faust. Alright then, photograph. Canned experience? Not what seems to transpire as of yet. Find funny on the other counts, the dog said the sinners constantly dead while fine in battle. Now constantly having the sinners die in battle just to be alive in the story? Yeah. Didn't, but I could feel it. Kind of photographs to use canned experience? Strange sensation was, mention that word, shook the distortion and caused that rippling effect. Putting on stuff to open the dungeon of the Fathoms. How many other keywords could there be? Scraps. Sorry? I thought we were taking turns sharing what might cause them to distort. And going by the way you folks saying a piece one after another, I thought this would be some sort of Zen riddle. Not a Zen riddle, no, but where'd scraps come from? See, when enjoying the benefits of slacking off at work, all kind of mundanities come to possess far more interesting qualities. Sometimes even revealing secrets invisible to eyes focused elsewhere. Take a person of interest, to wit. He's been poking around this area with that area of town with an eye-watering expensive camera in tow. So conspicuous that every store owner had lightly prodded for information had tales to tell about him. Each tale had another facet to his long saga of a once-driven man, a man with a can-do attitude, an uncanny ability to pull himself up by his own bootstraps, and a clear path towards Nest's residence. He became so bewitched by photography that he eventually squandered his own fortune on what it was, in the end, nothing more than a pastime. And that went on until he found himself reduced to a pauper, barely making rent on a scrap heap in an apartment. In pursuit of that ideality, the man has lost grip of fortune and reality. I sought out his apartment and found a few scraps of his writing. When cold rain drips through the roof, when mold and tepid humidity together encroach from the earth, the mind begins to wander, lost. Eventually, madness evoked in a form indistinguishable from drunkenness. The pauper loses himself. A shadow darker than any seen on Kim's face crept beneath the shade of his eyes. What, a prediction? What sort of prediction started, huh? Beat the Intervallo dungeon in one attempt. Oh, I see. Interesting. Interesting bet. I've seen that look once in the past. But even more I could say I had heard in his voice that echoed in the Fathoms, distorted by guilt and regret. Perhaps I shouldn't be surprised by the fact that this distortion has, amongst the countless people here, taken a particularly interesting bamboo-headed Kim. Photograph, canned experience, and scraps. Oh, okay, it wasn't Mnestic Experience then. Like instead I could find a piece of the puzzle, the space before us momentarily warped and flashed, opening a pathway to the sword of Fathoms. Well then, we'll be right behind you, Executive Manager. Miss Ezra, that's what I'd seen then, the gateway to one's Fathoms. Yeah, this is it, huh? Neat stuff. But, after you finish, Ezra had to redirect the focus from our discussion back to the battle. Most of the sinners were caught in the same predicament. Some managed to disengage from the battle and prepare to enter the dungeons of the Fathoms, but Hong Lu, Gregor, and several others were still busy holding off the Encore employees. They're gonna follow us right in there for one now, right? Yeah, probably. Even those who aren't trained to Dante like we are can travel through the pass once it's open, so... Yeah, let's not drive ourselves into an even narrower corner. I'll keep them at bay. Hearing that, bamboo-headed Kim stepped up. My sword arm's not what it once was, but it should be enough for this. Besides, I've little wish to set foot in some ill-omened place and be tangled in such a bizarre mess. Is that really what he thinks? Does something that led me to believe there's some more about just staying behind to protect our rear. He was... What the fuck? Eh? What a terrible front. At least try to pretend to be sincere and make it easier for us to believe you. Do you think a terrible excuse was going to fly? What are you trying to avoid, Swordswinger? You're not some kid trying to get out of doing his homework. I remember hearing entering a dungeon with fathoms will bring one to the spiritual fathoms the distortion is gazing into. Then what lies within must be my very own. But this is what the abomination is gazing into. It's decided then. You're coming with us. We ain't about to walk into blind to a place we know shit about, mate. Got us in there, yeah? Oh, that's... He keeps it simple. You try that too. Learn the hard way that homework like summer reading doesn't go away just because you don't look at it. It's still there, even as the summer break comes to an end, ruining the last day of vacation into an all-nighter. Alright, Shiki's scabbard vibrated cheerfully in agreement. Stop procrastinating. Go do your summer reading. What was he said? Face the homework, save the GPA. How the fuck do you know what a GPA is? Face the sin, save the ego. It is after all the attitude the company expects of its employees. We don't... A GPA is an American thing. You wouldn't know what a GPA is. I don't... I only know what a GPA is because I speak to American people. Don't kill your family immediately, save them for the boss. I see, I see. Don't you get the benefit? Oh wait, no, I guess we don't. No, they would. We can revive them right before. Or no, I guess we would need the butterfly to get the effects. You'll make a lone stand? No, who do you think I am? Heh, I'll show you why Team Leader Moses felt safe sending me out alone with you guys. It's basically a monster of the week situation for Team Leader and me back in our duo days. I can handle it on my own, no problemo. I want to see how you guys handle the inflection point, but I guess you really can never have it all. Ah well. Guess just I trusted two OSIR Team Newbies to handle that. Yeah, now that I think about it, I'm sending a pretty solid example of Team Senior, aren't I? Yeah. I don't like this, but it seems I have no choice in the matter as long as this employee card hangs from my chest. With a sigh, Kim shook his head and joined us, dragging his feet all the while. I should take the vanguard. Ah, mentor, be warned this entrance is floating. Take a tall step over or you may trip. I can clearly see that, Ingdu. Bring me a ladder if you're really that worried, why don't you? Have you needed one? A mere jest. You needn't worry. Ishmael is American? With all the IDs she's getting, she's, yeah. Can't a white girl speak a little Cantonese? Is that the joke? I don't know. It's, yeah, anyway. 91% damage. Yeah, that checks out. That does check out, actually. You don't get the +4 base power and they don't get revived before the boss? I see, I see, I see. So, I guess we just run the leveled IDs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I support? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's fine. We have enough IDs to run. We'll run... We need bleed and burn gifts. But not 5 bleed and burn gifts. We just need just flat bleed and burn gifts. So everyone's been living. My life, my photographs too. So this is Escorp too, right? It is reminiscent of my homeland, but the sights are much too hideous compared to what rests of my memories. Hideous was apt. When we emerged from the entrance of the dungeon into Escorp streets, what greeted us was a stored and eerie scenery. I wouldn't be too surprised to find an Escorp-themed haunted mansion. There's hardly a place fit for human habitation. Far more dilapidated than once expected. Thou sayest that people inhabit these lands for truth? Really? I think it has a cool vibe. Vibes my foot. I don't think I'll be able to get a wink of sleep in here. The lives of the downtrodden were beset by 1,000 woes and tenfold more struggles, and the streets they inhabit reflect that reality. Many times they contemplated in consternation how the folk here even had the wood to live on. The shadow that began to haunt Kim's face still lingered there as he looked around. If the distortion reveals the fathoms of those it gaze into, as Kim had said, perhaps this is how Escorp is reflected in Kim's eyes. On the days when the skies were spotless blue, and without orders from the councillor, I would scale the roof of that Troga and feel it rustle beneath my back as I lay upon it. I thought it to be a respite solely mine, yet in this mirrored world another has walked here before my arrival. I joined him looking up at the thatch roof of the Troga. Beneath it, a wicked tunnel have I passed, and now I witness myself before the one who shall strike the head from my torso. There was a figure standing tall next to the building, staring defiantly up on the man on the straw roof. Im Gyong-on. Are you home? Are you home, I asked. What a strange visitor I have. Why not call at the front gate if you come speaking to the master of the house? Be not like a dog barking up the wrong tree. It's unbecoming. A dog, really now. I can see you up there lounging on the roof. I'm going to speak to the door like I'm blind. Has a spell of some sort befallen the day? To have such an odd occurrence transpired twice successive. The work of a witching spirit, I say. What's so bewitching about checking in on someone? Isn't it odd that a high and noble military commissioner of our esteemed corporation would come in person to simply check in on how a lowly merchant fares? You know me? She suddenly knows a jest. She marches forth, vested in war strider armor, yet expects no violence. She wields a two-handed great blade like a demonic yaksha, yet harbors no hostile intent. Why, who else might she be but Military Commissioner Young Op of the Principled, of the famed Im family? You are certainly in the habit of speaking in hyperbole. I'm not so noble that I deserve to be complimented with an epithet so grand as the Principled. Aha, not a compliment. You see, Commissioner, this is a rhetorical technique known as a backhanded compliment, in which I damn you with praise, for you are so bound by your precious principles that you would rather be unreasonable than betray them. Does an officer's second-ranked ordinate have no wit to engage in such banter? Why, am I out of line, as they say? What's the... I did also vote no? Why did you vote no? Bad gamble. You two are friends, right? This was our first meeting, so no, not at that precise moment. I know, I'm just saying that if I were her, I would never let myself become friends with you after such a bad first impression. Can't imagine becoming friends with someone who keeps pushing my buttons. Heathcliff reference. Maybe, but people do find friendship in such personalities if they have taste for prickliness. You got a friend in us, don't you? Fine, you have a point. I guess I do have a habit of pushing people's buttons too. But still, I hope you're not seriously comparing the way I talk to this sassy, gotcha-digging, pun-riddled... Well, the world we live in is a vast and diverse one. Consider yourself lucky that you're surrounded by so many quirky characters. It's because that same luck she took the joke well, rather than responding by trying to cut off my head. You are out of line, yes, but I know you'll be, so I won't take issue with it. Though I must admit the rumours of your sharp tongue do you no justice. The streets speak of a man they call Kim Lib. A man who had once intended to pursue the path of the brush, only realised the sins of his forefathers and exiled himself to the back streets. Yet with sheer power of will, gritted teeth, and a scarred heart, did he find in the path of sword another way into the nest, as the right state councillor's sworn guard at that. That's you, isn't it? All that's superflatives. Yet the reality is that I've merely found the path of man butchery as a viable way of life. Directing compliments you have towards the right state councillor, if you will. I am but a butchering blade that happened to fall into the right hands. Aha. Not a compliment, just a word on the street. Ah, you're a quick learner. And spare me the fancy reading my name. Watching you pretend that pompous posturing comes naturally is painful enough already. Keep it simple and spell it out as Bamboo had a Kim. Thank you. And he does continue to veer away from the line. I'd rather be a corpse, cold and dead, than stay in line. Have a shred of mercy on me, O mighty one. If I'd come all the way here just to punish you for every little misdeed and ill manners, I would have laid you out and split you in two, 3 ways before this riveting dialogue brought us thus far. So, feel safe to continue traipsing outside the line, but in return, would you answer a few of my questions? I've been watching you from a distance for a while now, and... Really? Stalking someone's not very principled of you. Sure she didn't give you a good wallop after that? No. Truly a mystery, isn't it? Besides, she'd give me free rein to continue traipsing outside the line. I couldn't in good conscience turn down such an offer of kindness. Not that I ever do. You sure have a way with words. A way of finding a way under the listener's skin, huh? Perhaps. Yet are such shapes not to be expected amongst fellowships of close mutual bond? They don't look like friends yet, though. So, care to tell us why she'd been watching you? Ah, I was engaged in the age-old pastime of throwing rocks. Oh, you speak of the game of Sukjon? Save them for the festivities of Dano. I was throwing rocks at the passers-by. Fie on thee, that is a wrong deed, good sir. I suppose it is. People of Purio and Sal in particular found it to be distasteful, and did not let their discontent be hidden. But the P and the downtrodden cheered me on, to a degree. They found it cathartic. Ah, curious. And is it a right deed or a deed not right? Pepeo, Sal? What was it that thou art describing? It's a well-known truth that S-Corp is known by its other name, Salpipio Agro Industries. A wing specializing in the general agriculture and livestock industry of the city, the vastness and the depths of its responsibilities have necessitated such divisions of labor. Bamboo, I love throwing rocks at people, Kim. Thus, District 19 is split into 3 court circles responsible for different aspects of the industry. Sal, P, and Piefo, each meaning flesh, blood, and bone respectively. Sal, responsible for the cultivation of rice and other grains, Pepeo, responsible for meat and livestock, and P, in charge of the technological aspects of both. As a scientist and researcher of Toilet Escort, you must have felt the persecution the P faced firsthand. It is believed that Trinity was designed for balance, that they would provide assistance when requested and keep one another in check when needed. It was once a promise of cultivating a fair and sustainable S-Corp. Alas, the noble extensions of yesteryear now lie sullied, the Trinity now degraded to 3 quarrelling bands of profiteers bound by avarice. Relying not on honour, but betrayal and perfidy to claim the top of the triangle. And here into the flesh claims the position of the chief state councillor and monopolises rice as the common folk starve. And here into the bone, once a right state councillor, toadies to Sal and rises to the seat of the left state councillor. When such shameless conspiracy permits not the common folk to even till the land as they please, anguished cries of suffering flood the streets. Thus, the common folk are reduced to livestock bleeding out, hanging from a hook, whilst bone and flesh glued like that of the emaciated dead. Who should claim the severance of flesh and bone and force them both to yield my flesh to claim their bones? Yes. An oft-heard poem when walking the streets of Escort. Oh. And the people whom targeted with their rocks they weren't people. Rats. Rats? Oh yes, the council finds rats detestable. Much better to stomp them from a distance if you want to crush them. By any chance, do these rats have a habit of sneaking into the royal court to better pill for what the common folk rightly deserve? They suddenly suffer from a severe case of kleptomania. She purposely threw a rock at his feet to trip him to the ground, knowing there was a kleptocrat? Well, I simply could not help but react as such in the presence of scurrying rats. Is there what you find funny? Speak if you do, I could use a good laugh right about now. Just heartily expressing my gratitude, that is all. Those who corruption is revealed ought to readily receive their scarlet aura bonds. The gold scamper away such expensive prosthetics. Men were having some trouble apprehending them, until now. Well, if that's your intent, you're invited to leave a token of gratitude somewhere in the vicinity. Perhaps I'll happen to pick it up. Wouldn't want to get thrown in the dungeons team with real vermin. Oh, I was just going to do that. So when you stop being a sword and be a human again? What? When did you clock out? The way I see it, you're not the kind of person who have a lot of drop of liquor, get to his tongue while on duty for the right state councillor. Return to this choga when you're human again. I'll buy you a drink as thanks. Ha! She's a funny one, Mentor, this fellow you often mention fondly was... Correct. Haven't I mentioned a few times the drinking fellow I'd left behind in Escort? I must say, I found that relationship most intriguing. The military commissioner of the Sal faction would fraternize the bodyguard of the right state councillor, who is of the B faction. Still, I knew not that fellow was none other than the military commissioner of Escort. Angdu's eyes had gone wide in shock, her voice rising unconsciously. It is news to me that you have ties to a second-order official, the military officer with command over high-ranking employees of a wing at that. Well, I was in service of the right state councillor, as a first ordnance, you know. Well, that may be true, yet you'd like to know why I, with such a powerful friend by my side, have ended up in exile from Escort? Yes. Your silence over matters of such great import is why I come to introduce you to others as a resident one, Mentor. We had made the Blade lineage our home. The Escort prevailed no home for us but the lineage. But you, Mentor, I'd rather show than tell. Let us proceed, shall we? This enchanted place seems to be intent on unearthing all of my past, both unsavory and savoury. Oh, said them the wrong way around. All shall be revealed in due time. It's our Pipio Agro Industries. Everyone's favourite answer in whatever that drawing one was. I can't quite remember what it's called now. Kim looked around, a twinge of loneliness in her eyes before moving on. We followed without word. Why have I been pinged? Ah, never mind. Nothing important. Right. Question mark, question mark, question mark, fathoms. We emerged into a dark and muggy cabin, filled with air so stale it felt almost stifling. Up ahead was a constant powerful gust howled through one of the paths, and it was full of metallic tang and smell of blood. There was a path that felt entirely silent, and lost an echo of the harsh noise of sword striking its sword. Which path should we choose? Bleed? We have a bleed ID, so I would assume Poise Gift, Bleed Gift, not sure. We don't have the BL IDs, so I'm cautious of taking that. Also, much as I like him, the BL got retconned like shit. I don't really like what they did to Kim. I mean, no, it doesn't really make sense, but bleed is bad. I see. That's always good to know. Hold on, let me just... Mnestic Experience, Limbus Company. Look, as much as I would love to figure out what all of these options do myself, there's a wiki for this sort of stuff. Hello, where is the dungeon? Where is the dungeon? There we are. Battle chapters. Fathoms. First event. Poise, Ego Gift, Bleed, Ego Gift, keyword the slash. So Poise is Aura Bond. I wish I could see all of these. Oh, yeah, no, I've seen some of these. Illusory Hunt is damage up. Red Tassel is slash. Honestly, Red Tassel might be worth it. The credenza compared to Limbus kind of pisses me off, yeah. What does Orobont do again? Let's go Nimbus Company, ego gifts. Overbond on crit. Game poise, get bleed, equal to bind on themselves. Well, we don't inflict. Well, no, we do inflict bind. Okay. There's an idea with that. Service to Klaus is not that good. Wait, no. No, it's not really that good. Illusory Hunter's damage up and Red Tassel is quite good. Because it's slash damage. But the crit's probably the most worth it, I'd say. It's either crit or slash, because we do have an all-slash woman. Let's go for all-slash. Oh. Stack stones. Red accessories. Bottom of the hill. Because I'm assuming the final boss will have a slash resistance, because... yeah. Why would you ever choose the bottom path there? Okay, so we want to do 1, 2... I mean, these don't matter at this point, because we're not doing this to kill anyone. We're just doing this to get through. Because if we kill anyone now, we won't have them for later, and that would be an issue. Is this win rate? Yes, it is. Can't you wait to click the win rate button 20 times, chat? I love clicking the win rate button. It's my favorite thing to do. I'm curious, hold on. Let's check what the Tifrith database has to say about what the BL pages do look like. Key pages... Blade lineage. Blade lineage have congratulations. A little more the code of people announced to go. Those code intend to murder someone. Most seek to... One moment. Most seek to join us at lowly positions, not refs. If people hold dead, who grudge against someone, you best behave for those who are more skilled than you. Maybe earn murderous rockings, but we understand that place. And then... what does Bamboo Headed Kim have to say? I've never looked at Bamboo Headed Kim. Or at least, if I have, I can't quite remember what I looked at. Yeah, see, I have read this before, which is why it was weird for me. We value the art of violence more than anything. Those with an unscathed body are not permitted to join us. A swordman who don't have a single blade scar on his skin is doubtlessly too careful when he wields his weapon, and hesitation will be an obstacle. Too resolute to endure the wounds his own blade would leave, let alone the assault of others. A body free of stars is proof of cowardice. Alas, it would be wise not to expose your wounds outside of those on your face. Albino Ring Corporus, welcome to the stream. Yeah, no. Is there anything else to look at? No, I don't think that's it. Like, I can't really see the Kim we've been shown saying something like that. You got ads? Ah, damn. How are ads on Twitch, by the way? I don't really know how they are, because the only time I've particularly watched Twitch would be, like, with an ad block on. But may as well read the early BL upties. Yeah, sure, why not? Wiki.gg, Limbus Company. Limbus Company, wiki.gg. Identities. You have a BL ID. You are a later Blade Lineage ID, but we'll grab you nonetheless, because we may as well read everyone. We've got a lot of time. You're Kurakumo. Do you have both? No, you don't. Who am I thinking of that has both? I know one of them does. Anyway, let me take the top path. Excuse me. Fresh ingredients on screen. Youth after fidgeting your head in the room walked up to us and asked for help. Youth explained that wishing to better his own status, he took the royal examination, akin to a public employment policy in S-Corp, and was able to obtain a high grade for himself. Mnestic Experience. Fathoms of... question mark. Let's read this event. Because I fucked it up. Here we are. As one new people passed the exam for flying colours themselves, the travel that Spencer paid for the homeward trip and granted a guide, but also understanding something because of the exam grounds, no one was there to escort him. Is nothing can help in directions. What should we do? Let me ask the group if they can help. The mass murderer. Thank you. Please, thank you for stepping forward. Rose driven their mouth to begin and stopped, then turned around to where bamboo-headed Kim and Angdu were. I'm not so well versed in the geography of this area. Perhaps a mentor would know better? Come on. Kim let out an audibly disconcerted sigh, then walked up to you to give him directions. And take off that royal celebrity foul crown. You don't want people to know you passed the exam. But why would I? It's for good reason. Just do as I say and you'll thank me one day. The youth stared back at him in puzzlement, before seemingly deciding that giving proper gratitude for Kim's existence took precedent. He handed us what appeared to be a small ceramic-ware vessel. Ah, might this be a water dropper for brush calligraphy? Though you have no practical need of this, for I see none of you are much acquainted with the art of grinding ink against inkstone. I have Callisto right here! Callisto and Albina are right here! None of, like, oh, none of you are good at art, they say to the artists. Yay, I'm there. You are indeed, Albina. You are there. Right. Ishmael has both? Ah, I see. The art isn't really using ink. True. That's true. Had not been for the exaggerated scoff Kim gave, the youth hurried on his path, that minding the sudden discourtesy. Angry let ask what Kim had spurred his sudden outburst, but did not give a reply, instead choosing silence behind pursed lips. Lecture water dropper obtained. What does this do? Oh, it's this. Okay. Assist defense. We don't do assist defense around here. We'll at least get speed difference, though. I am curious to see what happens if you fail it. That's me. I am that youth. Yeah. It probably smells of, because that's not someone who committed treason against escort for Fush Conf. I read in the long paper accumulating treasonous raps and no experiment to stain our history again. And upon arriving home, I realized who he was. Who known that treasonous wretch I exhausted savagely in the exam was none of my own ancestor. And the reason you don't seek us officially, even after passing the test was, how could I daring do? Who do you think? Why do you think no escort volunteered to guide my foolish past self? Because every soul an escort, but myself already knew what I'd done. Who was I? A bastard who betrayed his own ass's name to pass an exam. Huh. Kim muttered plus there's a shame I'll walk ahead of us, but neither shame in breaking my brush, I would have done that myself. And if you do nothing, then that's me, I am that youth. Okay. Interesting. And I guess we just go here. Instead of assist defense, we do assisted suicide here. Yeah, we do indeed. Right. Do we have... No, we don't have any more. Right, back to list of identities. Next up, Maso does have a BL ID. You have a Kurkumo ID. You have a... neither. You have a Blade Lineage ID. You don't count as a Blade Lineage ID. I just when you had an actual one. Oh, apparently not. Kurkumo. You have a Blade Lineage ID, I know that. You have a Blade Lineage ID. Do you have a Blade? No, you have a Kurkumo. Right. So, identity story. Let's read through all these. Does count as Blade Lineage? Well, we're reading through old Blade Lineage for the point of finding out where they changed things. Dream Wilson's favorite turned out so bad in my opinion. Understandable, understandable. Is there a Discord server link somewhere here? Normally there's a pinned comment. I don't know where the pinned comment is, so I will just grab a link myself. One moment. There we are. I should probably put one in the description of my channel, but anyway. Heathcliff has Kurokuma. No, we're looking for Blade Lineage. Anyway. Move. So you have a man in glistening, like, so incredibly different from Kim. Well, hat woven from also in bamboo. Plants of darkness, candle moonlight their own souls in relation. The moon was fully waxed and bright enough to cast a cold light in the black and white stones on the board. The left stick cancelled bodyguard having silent swiftly again backtrack. Apologies, young man, I was sort of thought. It's quite alright, we've not set a time limit for this game. Yeah, I mentioned the chocolate. He sat there for a moment playing with the black stones in the bowl. Mind me not, left state councillor. I am but a student in this match. But I'm coming and me to bid you hurry. You're quite impatient now, no? Sound of smooth hulls grinding against each other ceased. Has it been several winters already? Yes. I've been your protector for 7 years and 4 months, left state councillor. Time passes fast. May I ask your opinion? I'm certain your perspective may vary from mine. I was raised in affluence, yet you have clawed your way up from the bottom. Sharpening and filling with stones again, briefly absorbed in thought. I don't think that's true from what we've heard literally just then. Oh, so yeah, no, he was the right state councillor, not the left state councillor. That's what he says. Well, he looks dark and knowledgeable, but I believe you walk the path on the nasty for the good nest of feathers. The old man in his robes, perhaps the child's answer wasn't looking for. You have not shared your opinion with me ever. Since you became my objector, I suppose I am content with you by my side. I apologize. My response was to your satisfaction. There's no new apologies. You're the potential becoming an Imjong had you serve the right state councillor instead. As not the title, there's a work past the blade and escort seek to be recognized as one of the very best in the nest. I never knew a Jesse who never saw one such privilege. I am a blade to wield, left state councillor. You were the one who chose me. Hopeless. Really? No you don't. Hesitation. Silence, something else you hard deserve to. Let me see a planet. If I see a person of me do the duty, then I'm intent performing. I'd seek this after this. You tell him just to runs into the last nest. Run this appeal, hideous conspiracies, heinous deed, and studies are being conducted in secret. Should the contents of the appeal be made public or shake our scope to its core? Let me just. Since the charisms, revolution gets those to destroy it. Assassins, be my blade so see the path to the end. That is my request. It shall be done. The child replied without a moment of hesitation. He had no reason to. Please never question the fact that his purpose to protect the late state councillor. That's why the child could not imagine he would ever fail. The old man perished despite the child's vow. The child's skill with the blade were unparalleled, yet so much that a single person managed. The powers that be of Escort beheld resource employees that no single human could possibly withstand. No one at Escort quite knew who murdered the man or how he was murdered. He was killed in a manner that could never be traced. But the child knew. One moment, I'll keep reading that after we're done with this event. How do you like the end of Valor so far? It's a cool end of Valor so far, although there are a few plot holes that I've found annoying. But other than that, it's been really good so far. I catch a glimpse of a figure staring off in the darkness of the unlit prison. Heh. I'm gonna kill him outside, but before he even fully exhales, who goes there? A sharp cry cuts through the... Once again, I clicked too fast, so I need to quickly bring up the wiki. That's a different event to the one I got. Okay, 3, here we are. Who goes there? A sharp cry cuts through the stagnant air. Someone must notice us. What should we do? Oh wait, it all goes there. I'm an idiot. Okay. I'm assuming battle. The prison guards, the one who called us, stood there for a moment, nonchalantly trying to gauge us even stood with our weapons drawn. Then she walked towards a gate that could not be called aggressive. After chatting with us, he called upon the figure sitting inside the dungeon. Could you explain who they are and what happened? The one-sided exchange continued for a while. She heard various lines of questioning and chat at the figure inside the cell, but it was to no avail. Heh. Might as well be talking to a corpse long dead. She let out an exasperated sigh before turning to us. Anahitivism as well? Might be those who share his purpose. I'm assuming say you are. It just seems like do the good thing. Oh, you. Okay, great. There's that fool. Hearing that, Raish and Kim stepped forth to explain what had led to the incident at the right state councillor's estate. With a particularly critical edge coming on when Sam Kim's in action, that is. So that is what transpired. Hold on. How's that man know what happened? There's no for idle shadow, you must leave Escort right this instant, and by the time Kim's story ended, the prisoner's curiosity finally bubbled over the limit and threatened to still over his questions. However, the woman, though just learned the truth of what happened, refused to engage at all and focused on trial and removing the Kang clasp around the prisoner's throat. I can say here, there's so much to be done. As my fellow conspirators, about to do best that you make yourself scarce as well, considering your precarious position Escort. The side inch I use should still be unopened and guard. Leave quickly. She can definitely work her hands to unclasp the Kangu, even if she gave us directions so detailed and vivid that we could find our way out of the prison without a map. Meanwhile, the bamboo-headed Kim had wandered off to a corner of the room and picked up a broken piece of wood, pocketing it. Crushed wooden manacle obtained. On hitting against enemy using slash inflict, one tackle down, now is faster. Okay, cool. We go here. Okay. So many good slash gifts. Yeah. Right. No, it can't be. My life is the experiences, the memories that are recorded different. Alas. Kim came to a stop with a grim look in his face. Again, I am returned to this day. His voice had dropped to the same morose pitch we had had before. Mental. I have been here before. Ah, have you? Had a peek into my memories when I distorted, did you? Ah, I must say it's a bit embarrassing to have my deepest and darkest secrets revealed like that. Kim grinned sheepishly as though to clear the air, but it was coming rather clear to me what he was doing. That his flippant demeanour and seemingly devil-may-care attitude were a mask to hide the true darkness in his heart. Then this must be, indeed, the right State Council's estate. Someone who once protected, thought was worth protecting. Kim pushed open the main gates and made his way into the front yard. Watch out, Engdu. Take a tall step over or you might trip. Ah. There were bodies splayed about in the yard and I couldn't dare start counting them. I felt faint watching the afterfringe of the carnage. Some were decapitated, some had their torsos split diagonally, and some of them were so mangled they could hardly tell even which parts belonged to who. Are they not retainers of the royal court? What were they doing at the council's? No, were they killed by assassins? Assassins did infiltrate the estate, yes. You're looking at what remains of them. Though I had but a moment to glimpse it, I clearly remember what the S-Corp logo I saw in Kim's Fathom looked like. That's these corpses are or were wearing or adorned with the same logo. So I was bent proud of Kim calling them assassins. In this corrupt land, the Right States Council's life was always precarious as a candlelight in its tempest. Such is the fate of all those who have the guts to seek the truth in S-Corp, who are positions of influence are hoarded by corrupt sycophants whose chokehold in this power is ironclad. The most prominent amongst them, the left state councillor, with the chief state's councillor's blessing, sought to wield his own private army to silence forever the tongues of those who would advocate against the corrupt. Private army? But they're prohibited in our homeland. They're kind of like how the great houses of H-Corp each have their own armies. That is similar to what's happening, but not exactly. If S-Corp's circumstances were to be explained in plainer terms, it would be akin to a situation in which a company, whose employees outwardly appear to all be working with the same side, is in fact fractured within, with certain departments pledging allegiance to a different individual than their chief executive. What assassins there had been in the past at least wore masks to hide their allegiance. I had thought this no different, though with assassins signally less invested in maintaining their disguises, not realizing they just placed my stone inside the tiger's maw. Looking around at the yard teeming with the assassins, I recall thinking just how odd or how many of them they had sent. Though the left state council's power had grown to loom over that of the king, I should have realized how ridiculous such a brazen attempt at life one of the triumphant councillors at the royal court would have been. Foolish. I can't have failed you, councillor. There are simply too many of them, as though they decided that tonight was the night they would finally say the councillor, or die trying. I was soon overwhelmed, and some of them managed to get around me and reach the councillor's bedchamber. The moment I heard them breach the door, all strength left me, and I fell to my knees. I, Kim Lib, are a poor excuse of a bodyguard, and I failed you. I knew who the author of the foul scheme was, the left state councillor. Let this be my final act of loyalty ere I depart this life. Though I am too meager a person to carry on your will, councillor, what I can do is plant the seeds of terror in the hearts of the unjust, if only to shackle their blackest hearts from putting greater misdeeds. I shall go before the villain who's contrived this betrayal and see that the favour is repaid with steel. Only by such vengeance shall the councillor at last close his eyes in his grave. Or so I thought. What? Greetings, honoured bodyguard of the right councillor. I see you've been hard at work. Cursed parasite, I ought to play you alive and reel the wretched soul underneath. Some goal you have to show your face here. Oh, here? You mean the home of the Honourable Right State Councillor who toils day and night in service of the Royal Court? I know the assassins were sent here by the Left State Councillor. Get out of my way. I shall collect your head once my task here is over. Alas, alas, this unsightly display of anger shames us all. Are all those who live by the sword as uncouth as you? The cruelty of damning words and the oppression upon decent men like myself. Let's see how long you can. Heed me, soldiers! Arrest that mad butcher. What? The accused shall heed his crimes. 1 moon ago, an anonymous letter threatening to take the life of the revered Right State Councillor arrived at the Royal Court. This audacious, contemptuous effrontery is in front not only to the Royal Court, but to the heavens and men alike. The revered Left State Councillor, who has long been in disagreement with the Right State Council on matters of state, found this offence to be so heinous that he has personally commanded his men to protect his political enemy on the day written the letter. Huh? Yet a tragedy is struck. All those lives sent to protect the noble councillor are slain, their bravery and justice their honourable hearts trampled upon the ground by this villain. Now the villain promises death to yet another pillar of the Royal Court. Thus we are, perforce, to arrest the criminal and restore the rule of law. You spout senseless drivel. I saw your men make their way into the council's bedchamber with their blades drawn. The councillor? Might be looking at the Right State Councillor here, alive and well. My lord? Var Wretch leaned down my ear and whispered. Perhaps you should have known where not to stick your nose. Did you really think you could overcome the entire private army in the Left State Council's service? You sent so many of their deaths just to lure me into a trap? Why? Now don't take this as a compliment. You're not even the apex blade of the homeland, nor are you the Ungom. You have been a rather egregious obstacle to the execution of my plans. Couldn't get through the first thing of my plan with you constantly getting in my way. Let's keep you nicely locked up and out of trouble. This can't be. For what it's worth, young man, I am sorry. I couldn't realize they were my ways. The truth is, though S-Corp is indeed a pond of turbid water, it was those like us who had stirred the dirt from its bed and turned it cloudy. Fearing the worst, we arrived to protect the revered Right State Councillor. 1,000 curses on the villain. In his quest for the right state council's life, the butcherous man has already watered the ground with S-Corp's labourers, the very lifeblood that runs in the hearts of veins of this most serene wing. And that charcoal-hearted villain is none other than the council's sworn guard, Kim Lib. And he does so, villain. And Hobe. And let the Orobons take you. You've fallen far, my friend. You who once considered a candidate to the honour of Ungom. And with the brand of an obi suffering your strength, even your master of the blade will only dull. Are you to be my executioner, young up? I hadn't received the orders to behead you, if that's what you're asking, nor would it befit someone on my station to slide my hands with an executioner's duty. How will you live on now? I don't know. The council demanded me. There is no path forward. Self-PPO Industries is more corrupt than I thought. Rotten at the core. This is where the game ends. Time to resign my stone. Indeed it is. Why are you freeing me? Once a game has been lost, you start anew and test other gambits in the next round. Why don't you stop playing this unfair game where the opponent always starts with stone placed on all 9 star points of the board, and find a place where you can begin anew in equal standing? As soon as they realize it was you who freed me, they'll come after you. That's okay. Unlike someone who made a fool of himself and fled after passing the royal examinations, I have the royal court's backing as its military commissioner. My position in the court isn't so fickle they would cast me down right away just because I let go of someone like you. You're a branded criminal. In the eyes of the royal court, you're as good as inconsequential. I report that even if you were to flee, you'd still be nothing more than a plaything in the palm of their hands. I didn't think you were the kind to go against your honourable principles. Some things can't be done without bending a rule or two, and you are needed. S-Corp's future is in the need of those who are less bound by expectations, like yourself. Besides, it's not the rules I stand by, it's my own principles. I did say I owe a token of gratitude, didn't I? Consider this a settlement of that. Gratitude and vengeance, after all, share a common quality. They are both debts to be repaid. Going up. Come with me. There's no hope left for S-Corp. You said it yourself, didn't you? We'll never win as long as we're playing that rigged game. Listen, they might have a 9-zone advantage over you, but to me, it's as small as 3. I'll manage and keep my finger on the pulse. Besides, change doesn't always have to come from the outside. The old wisdom says that catch a tiger, you mustn't enter its den. But wouldn't it help to have an ally waiting in the tiger's den to back you up when the time comes? There, all done. Your bonds are severed. Go now. Go and purge your strength beyond the walls of S-Corp. Yet beware of relying over much on foreign powers. I don't have it in me to take up this grand purpose. I'm done with S-Corp. You know how I am, I just go with the flow. Yes, yes, do as you will, go with the flow, be whatever you want to be. But I'm just hoping that currents of the river will someday bring you back to S-Corp. That's all. Though I had left the rigged game, my records afterwards weren't stellar. The laying of the stones on my board was always full of holes and mistakes. I joined the Blade lineage, became their mentor, dragged them into the library until, eventually, I cut down those who had placed their faith in me. Self-defeating move after self-defeating move. When going up had let me go, I thought I escaped the Tiger's Maul. As the game progressed with the flow, soon I came to the realization my life was an endless sequence of connects and dies. I was in a losing play from the start. Shadows dancing by the distant humanoid form began to grow like wildfire, and those in the attire of the Blade lineage one by one leap over the wall and approach us, like the projection of Kim's darkening fathoms. They're from his memories. Films and photographs can sometimes remain adopted, but the impression the person gets from viewing the photograph is malleable, and they must be after. Yeah, Kim believes that the Blade lineage would come back to life if they want to kill him. Devil in what? Devil may what? I'm in time for the go to boss theme. We're not at the boss just yet. We're still at normal stuff. I like how this works for version for those who already read Kim's Salt's uptight. Yeah, that's interesting. Wait, what? Oh, is Kim fighting with us? Oh, and he has his brand, so he's not as powerful as he should be. Interesting that overthrow is a counter, by the way. Because it's not... It's normally one of his most expensive pages, actually. Because it's ordinarily a 3 cost that gives +3 slash power, as well as having a slash dice and a shield. It's distinctly not a counter. Although I guess the Kim boss probably has it as a counter. I don't know. Feels weird to see Kim without his hat. Overthrow is a counter for Kim Salt too? Or yeah, presumably. It is presumably just how they've adjusted it. Anyway, whilst they fight... is there out there? Oh, man, people... huh? Same face to the child. It was you. How are you still alive? How did you get even hit? The child was surrounded by corpses of decapitated men. He's glad right state council will look over the fiend. There was naught but silence of dead men who were once his bodyguards. If you cut me down, it shall not end with your neck. Your entire family, your bloodline shall be purged. The royal court shall send Triffin against you. You must know how terribly tenacious they are. Not let the borders of a nest stop them. Escort, a wing that places heavy emphasis on tradition and hierarchies, off sends a Chukin after contracts have fled or violated taboo. With an escort, fixed matter will be called Chukin, and the Chukin set by the royal court are known to be the taboo hunters of other wings. They are more deadly and more tenacious than any pursuers. Hold on. Just have to quickly slot things. Right. I will cut you down, your death will change nothing. I'll first terrible and codify. That's be a warning still. A warning that if I ever find anyone capable of tearing his putrid roots from the ground, I will return. A one that can easily separate your pathetic head from your body as a blade cuts through weed. What? Without the child disappeared in the early morning wind. Men, find the best Chukin in the nest now. Arrest anyone who ever had ties to that man. I want them hung before me. The child left the right side counts as echoing behind him. Resolute Mayo is the Lord of escort. The persecuted fellows are merely maintaining their status of feathers as escort. Those who wear their blades and the banner of the blade lineage, he would one day return to this place with them by their side. So that's very different to the actual Kim we got. Whereas this is the earliest Kim we have, I think. Wish that could be the real me. The child was afraid himself. He couldn't control his hips and lacked the courage to decide for himself. But it really was just a crazy murderer. Such thoughts were part of the child's head. Sorry, one moment. Somehow I think they're yeah, that stamp of vengeance. Yeah, they're dead. There is zero way to survive that. Oh, Kim just had to kill one. They unserved to burden him. They show his friend's place. The pleasure of bloodshed in the eyes makes him. The moon is so bright. Explain again. Breath. The child looked up in the sky, gazing at the moon and solitude was the one thing that could bring comfort. I do like the little backstory thing, except that's not at all how Kim has been portrayed. Yeah, it's a subversion of Kim, but I think it's too wild a subversion. It feels like they subverted Kim just for the sake of having him be subverted. Small Chukins, torch in hand, rushed from the same direction the man had come from. We saw a criminal. Oh, sorry, hold on. We saw a criminal cover the king's properties, flee in destruction. Speak up if you've seen the rat. The Chukins. Say you don't know, then slowly turn towards the haystack. That's funny. It's funny to see the men jump in the haystack, all them shake their hands, refuse to give up the criminal. Hiding him for some reason? Soon Chukins having the melee through the crowd, approached as well. What should we do? Point them in the wrong direction. Pride, envy. Are you telling me you can't hit an envy check? Really? Okay, fine. Please no 5%. Thank you. So in that way, huh? Appreciate the assistance. Up. Do I not get the story? Okay, fine. I'll look it up myself. Hurried towards the direction pointing. The man crawled out of the haystack, saying Chukins ago, and some of the civilians walked up to the man and gave their thanks. Good work, you. Can't have a vile Chukin take a noble thief like you away. A thief of the people. They're all wretched, I say wretched, so well-fed boy will starve. I bet they get rice if we got him. Bleed rice if we got him. Turn they're ready with the polite bow and approach us. You have my thanks. I didn't expect to be shielded by outsiders such as yourself, but it's a welcome surprise. Who am I, you ask? Well, I have no name to give you, but it seemed to Confolk are taking me to call in the like-minded the Blade lineage. I'm only stealing sacks of rice, the corrupt official soul, and returning them where they belong. Just as mentored bamboo had Kim had once done. Ahem. Kim let the small embarrassed cough. I've lingered here too long. They're on my trail again. It's about time I saw myself off. Even in a hurry, he bade us to wait a moment, rummaged for a sack and produced a few packages of food. Take these. It's not much, but quite filling for the road itself. Grudge and vengeance, after all, share a common quality. They're both debts to be repaid out. Huh? With that, he withdrew into the shadows. So we picked the wrong... Well... Otherwise, what would we get? It's just healing. That's pointless. Neither of those are useful. You can scroll text box? Yeah, you're right. I can scroll the text box. To read the story that I can't see. Anyway, more of the same. I was expecting ego gifts, but there aren't very many ego gifts in here other than for Blade lineage people. Anyway, time to do the same thing over again. Don't you love slotting the colored skills in the right places, chat? It's so fun. Anyway, back to reading. Right. The most important part is strike at the waist. Your steps must be as fast as lightning. That's what Shot told me. The child's first monologue and conversation directed at Blade. How right that you met your demise at your pupil's sword, lay down by the skill you taught her. As a master of study art swordsmanship, that individual may not be part of the blade lineage, and a ruling group of sword bearers branching their weapons they please to swordly simply be called free. If one were to tied them together, it would be survival. They chose the blade as a way of life. And whoever impedes the survival is greeted with severing violence. It is a trait that most members of the blade lineage share. Should I follow that path, perhaps? She says that she wouldn't hold regret for the day she saw her own master. After all, cutting out the obstacle that blocked her from her flow was the right thing to do. This was the greatest stream she flowed down, but she made up her mind to hold no regrets for going along with the flow this time. If an obstacle, I would shake it down. The child's eyes shone with determination. They shone with what, sir? Though I merely yearned to gaze out the window, hear the paper covering its openings obstructs the moonlight, much to my heart's discontent. One moment. I love match by colours. Anyway. The child, looking out the paper window with his satisfied narrow eyes, didn't seem to get much attention as to Loka. You're the one who said you wanted to seek in the Tower of Chaos. Step, the sound of tea passing his lips sounded disapproval. Additionally, moving to the south was also your idea, Yisang. Well, I do not deny that. Receiving the other child's flag, the child known as Yisang slowly turned his head to face her. We were in need of new territory from which to extort, were we not? I believe I offered an apt solution. You just won't back down, will you? Yielding is not a behaviour that aligns with me. Won't take up the mantle, that in the case. What made you recommend me to be the leader instead? Excess slaver is not my ideal performance, both mental and manual. Says the one nicknamed Slayer for taking excess lives, huh? It's funny for a guy who deals 100 damage with his skill 3. It's my preference to be wholly focused when I'm doing my job. Plus, in case in rhythm exchange, the child with dark bags under his eyes stopped to recall something and added. In addition, I remember you once asked this. Usually I back jokester, so what transformed you to a cold-blooded killer whenever swords in your hands? That I did. I hope today's exchange to provide an answer. The child instantly turned necessity after that, looking at the child's face so discomfort amongst any things, but describe them all in detail would be disservice. Isn't that right? Carmen speaking to us that early on is interesting. I don't think I ever up-tie... No, I would have up-tie 3'd him, because I used him. He's like... He was the ID that I used most early on. Oh wait, of course you can't change mid-dungeon, can you? Hey, okay, sorry. I'm glad I checked this now, because this is the point where we need to kill everyone. 4... 5... 6... 7, you get killed first. 8... 9, you get killed... What am I doing there? Sorry, hold on. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we are, that works, I think. Or do we want... No, sorry, we want Lucio on the field sooner. Because then 7, 8, 9, you two are killed, 10, you are killed. And then we go back through the other apprentices. That works. Reflects the Oh, it is reflected. That's true, actually. I guess it's a mirror world. That's quite funny that the left and right counselor are literally mirrored there, then. Like a prey backed against the cliff's edge, I am left bereft of paths. My hand hesitates for my room to place a stone. Misjudgments burgeon when contemplations harrow the mind indeed. Now that remains to neutralize that one enemy combatant in the yard. Tell me, who's waiting for us in there? You should know. This place some enemies are projecting your memories. Not the hardest guess to make, is it? I expect to find Ingum up in there. Gum was a woman of loyalty and principles. Even as a military commissioner, she never once stopped wanting to change the way the royal court was. But even she must have broken. In the end, I scoured the newspapers and TV for anything I found in the current state of Escort. It was plain as day that nothing had changed there since my departure. Mentor, is that not but a baseless speculation? Your concerns grown uncontrollably? Never you spoke to us about such a monstrous one in the past. Thus, what lies before you is such a figment, a distortion reflecting on your memories. Did this Ingum up appear as that monster does, Mentor? No. Gear Up wasn't like that. Gear Up. I still believe that Salpipio and Agro Industries deserves to die. But destruction's not the point. The point is I want it to be a place where I can cut away the avaricious corrupted and have it be a wing that cares for its common folk. If I didn't know better, I would have thought you were seeking to supplant the current Esport. You know that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just a wanderer, floating down the river slow to where the current's taken. When the river bent and I hit a wall, someone picked me up and made a blade out of me. Once abandoned, I returned to the flow and found myself a mentor to those who afforded me the undeserved faith. And the river continues to wind, carrying me back to Escort. When Side fled. Shall I let the blade sing my inner thoughts? You think I'm satisfied with the way S-Corp is? Your method as it is now goes against the principles. I expected someone better from someone of your wiles. If you enjoy those principles so much, then why ask me to leave the game? Because someone has to stay behind and try to bring change within the limits of their principles. I only hope that one of those bends in your river of yours would float you back to knock on the gates of S-Corp once it was primed for change. Has that changed? What do you think? You at least seem to think that I have. Because you believe that I shall stand in your path, stand in my path, and stem the flow of this river evermore. Very well. The law states denial of the will of the Royal Court is a crime deserving of death by beheading. I am going up, second order in the Salpipio Agro Industries, officials of the Sword and Military Commission of the Royal Court shall uphold the command, and sever the buds of rebellion before they propagate. Blade Lineage from the full faction if starts to get like 5 power and 3 coin. Oh wow, interesting. Anyway, wow, that's a lot more coins. Unfortunately for you, I don't care. If we have to care about the gimmick, chat, we have to care about the gimmick. Unfortunately for them, though, I have a House of Spiders Ryoshu, and I plan to use them. Use a pad made out of single coin skills. Gain advantage at higher home. Ooh. And how do you lower that? Clash start, lose 3. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's actually really cool. So the idea is that you either clash with that final one or don't clash with it to make it better or worse for you. That's cool. This fight actually has a very cool gimmick. Is it any good in the Reflectorial? Because I need to fight Ricardo's Reflectorial. I need to fight her Reflectorial. Before it goes, at least. Knocked my microphone, whoops. Reflectorial is just HP slot? Damn. Well, I have to get rid of that. As much as I don't want to, it is necessary. The kill order demands it. I just realized I did this wrong. I need to have 2 Nurse Fathers on field, so I kill 2 Nurse Fathers at once. Oh well. It really doesn't matter that much. I'm gonna kill them all first anyway. Better than Ricardo's balance-wise. I've heard that Ricardo's is quite heavy on the if you use middle then you win. That's what I've heard. So what am I killing? I'm killing Lucio there, huh? Ricardo is so easy with a middle team. Well, it's a good thing I've got a fully powered middle team then. The Reflectorials are really sad for me, because they sound like a good idea, and then you look at them and they're actually just advertisements for a certain team.
좋은 성과를 갖고 돌아온다면 달고 짭짤한 걸 준비해두지.
Are you still in this? Okay.
자신 있으면 받아봐.
This one, not so much you can do with any team? I would imagine so, yeah. Considering it's a story thing and it's for an intervallo, it's not going to be the world's greatest difficulty. Yeah, time for you to die, buddy. Nice precognition. Now, oh, do we not have the... Oh, it's an evade, which means she gets deleted last. Ryoshu does not have to be the one to kill House of Spider's identities. They can just die by any means. Yeah, if they die by any means, then it's fine. Hence why my IDs are all really low and I'm trying to get them killed constantly. The goal is that you should be able to get them all killed instantly, which you can do with some things like Fell Bullet, which I'm going to assume is how you do it with Speed House of Spiders, but yeah. I don't want to use that just yet. Struggling. No, you don't. Are you on Unbreakable? At 6+ poise. Yeah, you're on Unbreakable though. Good to know. Always flips oh, as in if it wins. Hopeless. Well, that's worrying. Okay, that's do I need to actually clash that? Oh. Okay. I see the issue now. Read her blue status? I mean, yeah, she gets more power. Yeah. Struggling, hopeless, struggling, favored, okay. Let's go for... Will you be replaced? I don't want to risk that. Is that a risk I want to take? Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer? You're not wrong. Unfortunately, in this case, I win. Right. Overconfidence is a slow and insidious. Oh, never mind. I won the clash. Could have thrown for the bet? No, I'm not going to throw for the bet. I'm a good Twitch streamer. I will do my utmost to actually uphold the bet. Oh no, you're going to kill her. Whatever shall I do? Okay. And you're gone. See, if I'd killed them all quicker, then I would have been able to win that clash easily, you know? Now I'm going to need to do things the old-fashioned way. Oh, I really wish I'd been able to take 8 more damage there. Oh, that's annoying. Wait, does that transfer the damage to him? Ah, mustn't have done it properly. Let's save that for the next time, still. And let's put that underneath here. Oh no, you're going to... Anyway. Right. Do it with good team building and sending them like the encouraged units. Yes, but the encouraged units make them so much stupid, like to a stupid degree easier. Like they are a blatant advertisement. I love that skill too. It's so satisfying. Anyway, there's a 37 rolling 1 coin skill. That rolled higher than the ego move we just used, by the way. Oh, damn. Screwed up. Oh, that's Bamboo had a cam. I was about to say, sorry, did Sinclair just win that clash? No. No, Sinclair did not win that clash. Just a boss without time pressure? Well, the problem is they are a boss with time pressure. That's the main issue there. So anyway, let's do that. Let's do that. Do you have unbreakable coins? Do you have unbreakable coins? Yeah, you do. Let's do this then. Do you trigger unbreakable coins? This is the important thing. Yeah, you do. What do you gain benefit from? Okay. Let's start Clash then. Although, yeah, let's start Clash. Oh. 20 to nothing? Good to see. Oh, it was Yield My Flesh. GG's, yeah. I don't see a world in which I lose this now, considering this. Just a casual. Yeah. Seems fair to be able to do that. Not as powerful as I record, yet way down by the brand, I'm not so far ahead or behind. I don't know, I think you're doing pretty well. Verily appear. You're all dead! Yeah, he's winning that soul like he's trying to get himself killed. That blow was far beneath him. Seeing the end here, is he? Can you afford to look away in a duel? What are you doing? You'd rather look your sword of mine than parry it away? Kind of a sword fight with a blade lock though, huh? The duel between the Mentor Syndicate and the military commissioner escort is neck to neck, clash of clash. The two warriors eventually lock their blades in a contest of might before it comes to a close in a final fatal bout. When the dust settles, the Mentor lies in the sand dead. If that's what you want, I will grant it. Good, let's finish this. So just as Member had Kim and him got ready for the fun about, Angdu leaped in between them. Angdu? You were so ashamed you choose death over life, Mentor? You're so scared to live, you'd rather die? Yes, I am. I am scared. I'm terrified of my audacity to live my days as though I hadn't failed everything and anyone with the misfortune of placing their faith in me. My mission, my own, my fellows. As my path isn't haunted by ghosts as I consent. Stand shamelessly before watching the eyes of the heavens. What have I even done with the life that's given me? Blind to the rallies of my homeland to serve a master who chose politics over loyalty and justice. Couldn't my very foes who chose to trust a fool like me. I walked my entire life as the flow carried me. When I finally looked back, all I saw were blood-red traces everyone had gone. It's about time I made this game. Can it be won? But, Mentor, the weakness of your strength has failed your mission. The weakness in your position has failed your honor. The weakness in your heart has become the fiendish blade that cut down your fellows. Angdu, I thought you were talking about living. Your words pay me so. What weakness of yours at this time? You're cast away your own creed in life. Well, the weakness we use as an excuse today. Stop trying to bear responsibilities asked, not of you. The blading is never about responsibility, nor was it about you, Mentor. What is your overbearing guilt hub? Hey, status. I'll reverse your importance. What was that saying again? Fellow travelers in the same boat will aid one another? Not a single soul demanded that of you. Talk about kicking a man when he's down. And I've had enough of that flippant larking of yours. We all have. Do you truly believe that a single one of us picked up the fact that levity was a means of relieving yourself of the burden you're casting on your own shoulders? None of us ever demanded some impossible feat of you. What was it you always said to describe yourself? That you're but a butchering blade that wields not itself, a tool wielded by willing hands? Why, Mentor, I know not what kind of shame or responsibility a mere tool has, do you? Because I fail to see any. If the shame does not subside still, then shroud your face to that bamboo head of yours and live on. Live on, so you may repay your debts. Out of blades, out of arrows, even the heart sought death lies feet at your feet. There is no stone left for my next gambit. There is nothing more. Indeed, perhaps there's some merit in your words, that I must retreat from the silly game of stones and become a fiend of blades. Mentor, that's not what I said. Interesting. Whence did you hear that poem? Oh, he's talking to Carmen. Yes, when inverted, a bamboo head is like an unladed ship. Angu and Ingam were knocked away from Bamboo Head Kim as they bounced off by an invisible force. Kim raised his gaze to meet the empty air as though someone were there, a hollow laughter escaping his lips. We know who he's talking to. It's the voice. The last move was not a good one. Indeed, I did wish to become a blade. And what did you do? Forge me into an indiscriminate one that cleaves blindly in friend and foe both. It seems that in your excitement you have cornered yourself with that last move. Well, as it seems I have an opportunity to retrace our past moves, allow me to try something different this time. Be not vexed by this round. As you say, we never know what the next game shall bring. I appreciate and will treasure the other bits of your advice, but let's play by my rules for tonight's game. Something different this time, innit? He ain't distorted, I think that's an efflorescence, perhaps. Nothing is for certain, indeed. Yet I trust the words of my last remaining follower have also reached your ears. I am but a tool wielded by willing hands. Nothing in my life has ever been certain. I know not whether this move is what cements my defeat, but I desire it to be a victorious stone nonetheless. Thank you. I'll take what encouragement I can. The strange invisible pressure dissipates, and the armored woman, in garb, readjusts her grip on the sword. Kim turned around to look at her, and I saw that weighty shadow seem to have lifted from his face, replaced by a mix of relief and determination. A bit embarrassing to change my stance now, but now I fight to live. I suppose you'll be okay with that? Of course. To hide from peasant gaze, this hat I wore, an empty boat that bore my friends along, in bamboo veil to be drift from shore to shore. With wine I don my hat to watch Bruins throng. In mirth I doff that shroud to moon adore. So with this bamboo hat to veil my brow, though winds and rain may rage, I shall not throw. Hi to me, bamboo hatted one, speak your name, for I find your outfit dubious of character. I am he who has meant the lineage of Blaze to its premature end. I am he who has sought to bring salvation to the downtrodden to no avail. What to call a man who has failed to disburden himself with the world? How to name a man who has failed to bear the weight of the world? There is none. So call me Bamboo Hatted Kim. Bamboo Hatted Kim, a treasonous wretch. Oh. Holy shit, is that the blue mist? Oh, posture. It's called aura farming. It's so true. The coolest space rent? Absolutely. The photographs rapidly fold away from reality. Perhaps good PM had successfully managed to face his own past. When the photographs and memories that were overlaid with the fathoms are pulled away, what remains is a man in dirty, ragged clothing. The fathoms of S-Corp slowly lose grip on this world, and soon reveal the fathoms of the distortion that were hidden beneath it. I see residents of the back streets and their blissful highs from taking the canned experiences, and a man who's watching them with good disapproval. Why? Why is everyone running away from all this? A baker, always surrounded by the smell of freshly baked bread. A florist who makes lovely bouquets for graduating youngsters. A photographer who captures beautiful sights to remember. They're our lives, our experiences. I want to be a billionaire with an extravagant mansion in the nest, a legendary fixer who make the syndicate's Karen fair by just going on a stroll. What you get from those cans is not real. Is everything in your lives, all of this, just empty means to an end so you can get high on fake purchased experiences nailed into a can? If that's your life is, then my life and the photographs are taken are all... No, it can't be. My life, the experience of memories are photographed are different. You're all blindly consuming fake experience after fake experience without care about the real thing. That's why you're all floundering, grasping illusions. So let me show you the real things I've shot. The memories, the experiences, the reality of your lives. It was only in passing, but I glimpsed an unmistakable grimace, a scowl on Masseau's face. I reflected upon the events of today, and could at least begin to guess why that might be. You don't believe there's any experience in the canned experience of that guy's photographs, do you, Masseau? Because experiences and memories aren't the same thing. What really distinguishes them, I wasn't sure. Correct, manager. What I knew that the distinction was, for whatever reason, important to Masseau. Huh? A figure materialized in humanoid form, swelling out of the projector. He must be the Distortions. And next to him is another figure, stumbling out in a giant suit of armor. Blimey, that thing's still alive? It is but an overlay of the fathoms created within a distorted place. The concept of life and death has little meaning for such a thing. Yet faint does she grow. It must be the Distortion's power is waning. Hark, accused one, for these are your crimes. The crime of fomenting chaos and affirming while impersonating triggers of South Pipio agro-industries. The crime of exploiting the suffering of South Pipio agro-industries downtrodden as a mere veil for one's own fathoms. And, though it be a part of reenactment, impersonating a military commissioner of the kingdom without the royal decree. Pursuant to the law of the homeland, the accused to be sentenced to death by beheading. And before we even have the chance to step in or anything, the faint mirage-like warrior brought down a sword in the docugrapher's neck, decapitating him. Oh. Can any of the fathoms slay one outside it? Such an instance has heretofore never been observed, but is happening right now, right before our eyes. I can only say yes. Being up as a woman of principle. She would have done the same to the bitter end, had she truly been here. As the headless body of the inflection point crumples to the floor, and Guillemot's shape slowly phases out of reality, and we find ourselves back in the projection room. And there. No way, don't know how that headless corpse is. We found a large group of injured NCORP staff thrown pole mall around the room, and Ezra, who was looking down at the headless body of the docugrapher. Bro got killed just after becoming human again? Yeah. What are your thoughts on the interval? I like it. I like it. I do like it. 65% damage is... Jesus. She's a little bit mad. She's a little bit mad. What do you mean there's more time left? I really need to go. How many... Are there any more battle stages, or... Which makes so important as the torsion that your own protection kills you? Yeah. Is it just this left, or no battles? Okay, let's quickly finish this. Yep. Right on. Gotcha, team leader. And that's the report done. Good work, guys. Taking ready back in, as recommended in a relief voice. Such an impression in the mission. Will that cause trouble? Yeah, that kind of sucks, but it's not like you guys could help it. We could have thought the distortion would kill its own inflection point. If you had advanced, we would have prepared something to stop it, but... Well, that's for the LCD team and team leader to investigate. All in all, this mission was still a success, since we managed to eradicate the distortion from main corp, not to mention satisfying our client. Also, as she looked towards Angdu and Kim with a light-hearted shrug, clearly less concerned she had been earlier. Now I finally know where you've been disappearing on your own without letting us know. Glad you didn't seem to have any reason to, though, so it's all good. Yeah, it's the real win of this mission in my book. Hooey! The point is we did it. We did it. It's the thing. It's done. Gosh, I swear I'm never doing one of these without team leader ever again. Seriously, I got this close to losing it more than a few times. It seemed the responsibility of looking after LCD juniors, he kept us stressed and high-strung throughout the mission. I hadn't noticed it, but her brows had finally relaxed, bringing back the chipper Ezra I was more familiar with. Thus shall not abide by my review of indolence. You now join us on missions and tasks you're expected to. Is that understood, Mentor? Angdu, would you mind releasing the hands on my sleeve? Oh, what I wouldn't give to lie down and pass out right about now. The raw emotion in Kim's voice had likewise faded, and with Angdu's voice no longer as barbed as it had been in the Fathoms, it seemed to me that the two were back to the more relaxed selves I knew. I can't exactly say more relaxed for Kim though, because that's how it's always been, at least from what I've seen in any case. Fine, you are released. You've been giving me a good, hard shake. I don't feel so good. Saying, dude, I'm afraid they might have gone overboard with upgrading your arm. With your hand released, I'm going to reiterate that. Stop. My heart finds peace as well as I watch them bicker. Is everyone doing okay? Yes, Executive Manager. I've also only suffered minor injuries that do not require to go through the trouble of running the clock. Hang on, mate, I've got a dislocated shoulder. I can pop that right back into place for you. Allow me, I've taken care of similar injuries in the field. Yeah, and guess what happened the last time I let you do that? You rotated my bloody arm the wrong way and turned the bones of my shoulder into little chips. Don't sweat it, I can rewind that. By now I've grown used to the pain of rewinding the center of his injuries. A dislocated shoulder shouldn't be a big deal. I thought to ask a clarification if that will. Yeah? So recall how as we battled the N-Corp's pinframe team, the foes had taken photographs of us? And? They are those who are sent to identify and capture the one who violated taboo, forsooth. As we stood in their path, there's no mystery why we come to blows, yet I find this most perplexing. Wherefore did they take so many photographs of us? They're taking photographs to report their locations. Recording footage in taboo is taboo in N-Corp, meaning they can install security cameras here. The option for keeping consistent record when tracking down case of persons by photographs. No more solid water yet. Most puzzling forsooth. But very cool with clarity that from a sudden point they become photographers with renewed obsession. Oh hey, that sounds like a question from Masoi. Given how often I had to rely on the information Masoi had provided me in this mission, I think I've got enough practice and I've phrased my questions right and pull the answers I need from. I couldn't get him to tell his own judgment on the matters, but since he seems to have no photographic memory of what he's seen. Masoi, do you remember how many pictures of us the N-Corp staff took? I do. 56 times. That's a lot of pictures. You actually remember the exact number of times they shot us? I do. So it's so neat seeing his memory in action. Did you get the chance to see which one of us got the most photographs taken? I did. Oh, who is it? Who is it? Me? I make for a fine model if I do say so myself. No, it wasn't you. It was me. Huh? But why? I mean, what's the most statistically reason it was you? The moment I had the sound of pebbles crunching in the boots approaching us louder and louder. What the heck? N-Corp. Oh dang it, here because we beat up some of you guys? Listen, we had to because of distortion, see? As she says, the skirmish was an unfortunate consequence of combating the distortion phenomenon. Olympus Company provides a damage compensation program in case of such unforeseen events. Instead of engaging us in battle, please elect to contact the emergency response team at our headquarters at your first. Yes, we fully understand the circumstances surrounding your battle, and we intend to submit an expeditious request for damage compensation as you recommended. We're here on different business, so be so kind as let us speak. Different business? They're here to arrest me, Manager. Hold on, Masoi, let's hear them out. Wait, what? Masoi did not resist. He walked past and joined the group of N-Corp employees. Please confirm you are Masoi, formerly the one who nails, and a full member of the maintenance management team at the Grand Magasin Sifi headquarters. Confirmed. By degree of the Giants, you've been expelled for N-Corp with imprisonment as a penalty for non-compliance. Pursuant to Article 12 of the Eviction Regulations, you have also been informed that remaining N-Corp's district for more than 6 hours may subject you to immediate arrest. Please confirm that your memory pertaining to the above incident has not been expunged, and you have sound mind to recall it in entirety. Confirmed. Very well. Then in keeping with the regulations, I hereby notify you that now subject to arrest and transport. Place your hands behind your back and please offer no resistance. I'm required to inform you that resistance may incur further penalties. Wait, stop. What the hell's going on? I forgot all that. You know this would happen, Maso? Maso, who stood calmly with his hands behind his back as the N-Corp Lloyd handcuffed him, nodded placidly in my direction. I did, manager. Then why didn't you warn? It's a question of my reflex, but I didn't hear a spy to know why. You never asked. You did not. As you warned us earlier, but you should follow your instruction going forward, right? Yes, I would. Subject now in custody. From this on on, you are considered a suspect and will be transferred to N-Corp headquarters for your trial. As to arrest you, would you be the organisation the suspect is part of? Organise your ass! What the bloody hell do you think you are? Heathcliff, you're about to act out as N-Corp, a wing. In the absence of a reasonably justified case such as a contract, engaging in battle with the city's corporate entities is strongly discouraged. Yeah, and we're just supposed to twiddle our thumbs while they drag him away? This must be another piece of information they neglected to tell me. Another development was set in stone. Despite a calm and collected explanation, I could tell this is not a pleasant situation for Faust either. It's sending an uncomfortable glance at the N-Corp employees. So where are you taking him? The trial will be scheduled for the execution of the exile sentence. He replied dispassionately as they took Maso into custody. We looked back at them, not knowing what to do or say. Late afternoon sun pricked like 1,000 hot needles. Maso, now in cuffs, gazed with an expression that would not seem out of place on any ordinary day. That's a reference to The Stranger. Not La Stranger. Still love how casually it's about his arrest. Yeah, it is good. Right, well, that was Mnestic Experience. This truly was Mnestic Experience. I still need to buy that. We'll do that later. Thank you all for coming. I hope you did enjoy. And if you did, please do consider liking, subscribing, and following on Twitch. And join the Discord at the link that I'm about to send. But yeah, with that said, I'll be off now.